Listen, listen, listen. Welcome to Monday Night Realms, where I will ramble on for I don't know how long today. Um, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of news, but there might be a lot of slides, and they're done, but they might not be great. And I think only 11 people sent me pictures of their stickers. Now that does not mean to send them now. Although Tony Romo, who sent one earlier but forgot he also has stickers on other places. Not that that's shocking that Tony forgot something, but he sent me another one. I said, I'm not Baldy. I don't do the slides as I'm doing my show. So he's out of luck with that because if I make an exception for him, then everyone will think that I have to make an exception for them. And well, I don't do that type of stuff. So anyway, I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful Monday, kicking off that first day of the work week. Now we only have 4 more days to go, like the four horsemen. Did you ever look? I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, you ever notice the four horsemen? They had uh, some shitty people in there at times. Hard to believe, but like one of the best was one that killed his whole family. And that's too bad because that guy was awesome. Anyway, I don't know how we're getting on the Four Horsemen, but I went there. Um, let's see. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Hope your week was great. I had an interesting, a long weekend. Uh, Saturday was my stepbrother's wedding. So a couple weeks ago, about a month ago or so, um, I said, you know what? It's time to actually own a suit. I don't believe that I have ever owned a suit. And I realized, man, my camera is wanting to autofocus tremendously right now. Um, but I might have to fix that quickly here because that is really annoying. It normally doesn't do that, but man, it is like in and out, in and out. Um, but I figured, it's time to get a suit. I'm probably not going to get too much. I'm not growing any taller. I might get a little bit bigger. Uh, that is the plan. Maybe a little bit wider, but not enough to really affect anything. So I said, you know what? It's time. 50 years old. People are going to be getting married, and people are going to start dying at my age. So it becomes that. Well, let's get a nice suit. A nice blue suit worked out pretty damn well. Dark blue, so I can work for either or. Hold on, I'm gonna turn off the auto exposure. See now it's even worse. Like man, I never had this problem before, but for some odd reason, man, this thing is like doesn't want to focus on me at all. So hopefully it's not too bad. At least you guys can hear me right now. So there is that. Um, Um, Cooking with Eric says suit looks good. That's the color I have. Yeah, I was gonna get a black suit, and I just looked at it and I was like, you know what, this is so plain. And I looked at the dark blue and I was like, you know what, I like this. Now there's a guy, uh, KB that I work with, and black guy, tall. This guy wears all kinds of suits, and he wears suits that um most people should never wear. And I mean the colors, and I look at them all the time and I tell KB, I'm like, motherfucker, like you should not be able to get away with that color. But good lord, that thing, like everything that he wears, it just pops, it looks good. And I'm like, I could never wear something like that. I just had to find something that was definitely going to fit me well and be around for the long haul. And let's just say we were outside for quite some time because whoever arranged it wasn't really thinking, and we were sitting outside. It was like 85, 90 degrees, and that sun was beaming down. So did that. Got back in the gym again. uh, I've been doing that, but it kind of goes, I think people know, it's on and off, and I've just said, you know what, it's time to focus. I kind of put that little blurb out there on Facebook, like, let's see if we can hit 16-inch arms by assembly required in November, and let's see if we can push 17 by Joe Fest next year. This sounds kind of ridiculous, and to be honest, the arms are already almost at 16, so it's not really asking too much as long as I keep up with it. Not that anyone cares. It's just called accountability. That's all that I'm really trying to do. And then I did a few reviews. I was working on that. I got some stuff in. Um, and then I have to create this whole wonderful show. Go and see who sent me the stickers that I had asked for, and I know not everyone does it, but it was decent. Not as good as the Christmas stuff, but I like the interaction. And again, it's really dead right now. There's not too much to really talk about, but over the week, let's see, what did we actually have? I dropped a few a few reviews. Uh, since Monday, I actually dropped the Fatal Fluffies. Thank you to Spec, who was able to get me that. He also got me the Professor Xavier, the X-Men 97 San Diego Comic Con, along with the Shadow Warg from Operation Monster Force. And then I was able to get, and if you guys haven't picked this thing up yet and you have the Despoiler stand from My Fig Voice, it is awesome. That stand that he uses for the wire is nice and thick. And yes, Matthew, I know you told me, and without your knowledge, without your presence and you guiding me, I would have never known about that. So all credit goes to Matthew for enlightening me on that. But if you have a Despoiler, it is something you need to get, and he's working on some other things. So I have been actually in talks with him about some of the stuff, and he said, hey, hit me up if you have any ideas of things that you think people might want. And I threw some things out at him, and hopefully he's asking for a reason. And I will say this, I said, everyone wants blast effects, like missile blast effects, not only firing off of them properly, but also ones that are firing from there. I'm like, imagine if you could tell or put up there, hey, here's the Despoiler stand alone, or for however much extra, here's a Despoiler stand with blast effects for the missiles. And he was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. So fingers crossed. I'm not going to lie. I want an MMS and HMS actual blast effects because we need them. Why Hasbro totally dropped the ball on that one, I don't know, because they did a wonderful job with the Rattler and the Dragonfly and stuff like that. But we need some good ones that are actually going to look like they're launching off of it. So, but if you haven't checked that video out, go check it out. Head on over there. I will say this: I did talk to him, and this has happened every time that I've dealt with somebody, and especially someone doing 3D printing stuff. Whether it be Arsenal Pew Pews, who else was there? Top Fun Toys, Action Figures Sold Separately, and a few others. They've all said, yeah, when you drop that, it actually does really well. It helps out. And when he told me what he had done, which I was actually really shocked at, I was very happy for him. And again, it's $25. I got it on pre-order for $20. $25. It's worth $25, especially if the Despoiler and it has to be up in the air. That wire is awesome. So check that out. And then I did order the 3-pack of the Super 7 Fatal Fluffies. Now I already had the single one. I was interested to see if they had changed anything, and sure enough, they only replaced one head sculpt. They removed the gun. Well, they gave it one gun, one whip, and then one fire effect with a different head sculpt. That was the only thing that changed. It would have been nice had they at least painted the eyes different on one of them, so it looks like you'd have like 3 different head sculpts. But it's Super 7. Now, with that said, if you are an O-ring collector, If you like those, $50 for a $25 figure and having three of them. Again, I thought there was no way that it was going to be less than 75. I think most people were on. Well, I think most people agreed with me. I actually thought it was going to be more because that's how Super 7, that's how Hasbro does stuff, is they raise the price, even though you're getting it in bulk. Uh, if they do 3 packs at $50, and I know this guy right here, um, oh, then they messed up. Then they messed up because should have one whip, one gun, and one fire effect. Uh, in actuality, they should have two whips, two guns. Technically, there should be three guns, three whips, and one fire effect. Is how it should be. The one thing I will say that I do really like about the fire effect face is that if you don't have it in there, you don't notice it. Like it is so dark, like the gap. You don't notice it. So good job on them. And listen, I give Super 7 as much shit as anyone else, and deservingly so, in my opinion. But when they do something right, I'm going to give them credit for it. And even though I still believe, and I will continue to bang on that. They should have articulated wrists. It would make things so much better. I'm not asking for a boot cut or anything like that. When they do something right, they do something right. And the Fatal Fluffy is definitely worth it. And it's boxed nicely. It has a nice little file card that will cut in. You can cut it and fit into the original one. So that should make everyone happy. Really flimsy box. I will say that. Real flimsy box. But again, is what it is. I don't think you're going to be unhappy with it if you are an Overeem collector and you have that. So I actually got home on Monday. I mean, on Saturday, and I did it that night, and then cut it up the next day because I was just like, I just need to get this done because I have so much shit that I have to get done on Sunday because I basically lost the whole Saturday. So anyway, all right, let's say hi to the chat. There's 46 people watching right now. I also do have a poll up right now. The poll is, did you lose your shit when the Fatal Fluffies sold out in 2 minutes on Pulse? And right now, I have 6% saying yes, 31% say no, 9% nope, I knew it would come back, and the majority of you, 53%, say no, I'm a fucking adult. Good Lord, like seriously, like some of you, the fact that some of you don't understand how this works, and you can sit against a fucking wall and bitch about shit or do other stuff and go online and like other people and fucking complain about it. The reason why the initial one sold out was because that was what they had in stock from San Diego Comic-Con or wherever that was in stock. That's the reason why it sold up. The pre-orders went up after that. That is why if you go and look online right now, I believe everything is in stock right now because those haven't sold out yet. For the Fatal Fluffies, they did. Now they're on pre-order, I think, set for like the 21st or something of September. So again, up to you. If you want to go get it, but again, it blows my mind. And then I dropped the listen, about I don't know, about 105 Eastern Standard Time. I chose violence today, and I put out a picture of the Fatal Fluffy 3-pack with a link to BBTS and saying, dude, I don't know what you guys are crying about. These are still in stock right now. Some people fell for it. Some people got mad. I just don't understand people, but it definitely makes me laugh. Anyway, let's say hi to everyone as there's 43 people watching. People have been in and out. We got GI Bro, who has the best guns in the community. I can't compete with his guns and looking better, but I can compete with them being bigger. That's it. Krusty O'Crow is here. We have Cookster jumping in. We have Cooking with Eric. Blue Barnella says Monday nights at 9 p.m. The best time of the week. What's up, chat? What's up, Larry? I love hearing that. It makes my head grow. Like Maybe that's why I'm having a hard time focusing. Maybe the camera's having a hard time because the head is literally growing while watching. SCS Dog has joined us. Triple D's Custom saying sup fellas. And then we got Snake jumping in saying hello everyone. Hope all is good. Blue Barnella, I completely agree about Monday nights. Mondays at 9. The rest of the day sucks though. I love it. Thank you very much. Woody jumping in here, and I got to give him this one. Where is it? I got it somewhere right here. And big shout out to Woody. That is why you will see what is going up tomorrow in the morning at sometimes. And I put a little hint out there. If you can't figure it out, well, you'll see tomorrow exactly what I have coming up. And Matthew Matthew Madsen, the Mamu Nester with his which I played in the opening. Did you hear it while the opening was happening? I played it when I saw it, and I was wondering if it was going to if it showed up. Snow Wolf is here. We have my other moderator, Action Figs, Ed jumping in here, who him and I will be at Assembly Required in just a few months. So I'm getting excited for another show, another chance to just spend some time with some friends. Callister is here, U.S. Combat Dojo, the one man who might be able to get Matthew to come to Joe Fest for a karate tournament. We have Mr. Wonderful jumping in here. Woo! We have Checkpoint Afro saying, "Sup, my brother from another mother." We can't have the same mother unless if you're Wolverine saying, "What up, Pumpkin Chad? Hope you all got what you wanted from Hasbro." I already had everything, and I just ordered one more Fatal Fluff because I definitely needed to have two because two face sculpts means I have to have two, right? Alex Martinez saying, "Hello, Mr. Punk. I didn't know that the Fatal Fluffies are sold out. I was waiting for tomorrow for regular non-premium members." Okay, I'm a premium member. It is up now for pre-order. Is it only for premium members or not? Because I thought they went up at 1 for premium members, and then like if they sold out, it was in stock of what they had. So maybe they just did that, and then at 2 or 3, whenever they went up again. Is it still for premium members? I don't know. But it's still in stock right now. It is still in stock right now. Hi, it's me is jumping in saying, "No, I bought my Fatal Fluffies before it sold out. There was a timer. Then when it hit 0, I bought it." I did the same thing, even though I already had one and had already reviewed it. Cypher 63 is here. We have 3-star draw saying, "Married, buried, same difference." I said to my daughter, I said, "Do you know what we call a wedding? The pre-funeral, or the pre-divorce, either or." We have Allison Troy jumping in and saying, "The suit will also help when you get married to some crazy chick you meet in Ohio." That ain't happening. That is not happening at all. We have Machine Man. Maybe your glasses more reflection than usual. I was actually thinking that. I was like, no way. But now that you said it, let me just try and see. I don't have my Skeletron hat. It's downstairs. Callister says black suit with gold pinstripes like a mini Headman. I did not go with that. Joe 94 is here. David R has joined us also. Let's see. Is there anyone else? Hi, it's me. Says, did you get the G.I. Joe all over print in the liner, or did you go with the Punk with Toys logo? I went the APWT. Hello. I mean, it's the only thing that you can go with, right? So I guess going back to what I was talking about, Matthew's bringing up, can't wait for the Air Chariot. I definitely talked to him about the Air Chariot today. That's going to be one of those ones that, and I told him, I go, there's a limited amount because only so many people have it. And some people haven't opened it up, but everyone that has an Air Chariot wants that. I mean, I did a whole video on how to raise it, and it was a very janky way to do it. I will be happy to use one of his stands especially for 25 bucks. You are not going to regret that. M Hatter saying, "Hey Punk, hope everyone is doing well. Everything is great, other than my my stepbrother who got married. Just kidding, Joey. I know you're not watching, but if you are, and your lovely wife is watching, I was just joking. NorCal Voodoo jumping in here saying, hello, Punk and fellow figure junkies. Hope everyone is fantastic tonight. If you have not, please head over, not right now, but after the show or tomorrow, watch NorCal Voodoo's Thursday with a Friend. I apologize for how bad the echo was, but it was a wonderful story, and this guy has an amazing story. I really do mean it. He has an amazing story, and it was one of the reasons why I wanted to have him on the show. Viper Scout jumping in here, which I already mentioned him. We got Gun Buddy Customs. How are you doing, man? Josh, you still put out the best customs. Like the best vehicle customs. You show everyone how to do it. It is awesome. Russell Amuse says, hey, Lawrence, what type of board is that? Oh, the sticker board. Okay. I did respond to you. I think it was just you I responded to. It's a Modern Skate. So Modern Skate is the skate park that I go to. George, the owner, all the Modern Skate decks have something to do with Michigan. All right. So that was a Werner. So if you guys know Werner's ginger ale, it's what Michiganders have. So he's done that. He's done Better Made potato chips. He's done the Detroit Pistons. And a lot of times he'll do them till he gets a cease and desist. And when he gets a cease and desist, then he cuts them off and he no longer does them. But if you look behind it, you can actually see his face. You might be able to see Modern there a little bit. But yeah, it's a Modern Skate. And so I love Modern Skate. I love George. I snap those boards like crazy. And that's why I don't think I've ridden one since that one because I would snap them. And that was 10 years ago. Todd C is here. I'm selling my collection. I wanted Fatal Fluffy to ship today. That'll teach Hasbro a lesson. Damn right. Gun Bunny says, I love bitching and complaining. Best part of collecting classified. It's not just classified, but yes, that is what we talk about probably the most. Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. And then we have Jim Smith. Dude, the guy that got mad at me for my name on that was classic. Oh, the dude that got mad at me for my meme on that was classic. Wait, did someone get mad at you? But I wait. I'm trying to figure out what meme. Because someone posted the one. Did you post the one with the Fatal Fluffy that I said don't delete this? Because if you're talking about me, I didn't get mad. That's the only one I can think of. Dustin Blair is here saying, "Hey, Punk and chat." All right, we're almost here. Only premium. Okay, only premium till tomorrow. Okay, I didn't realize that, but I guess when you have premium, you don't even think about it. I thought that it went up. I thought it went up quickly. Lightfoot is jumping in here. Lightfoot, I do want to say when it comes to the pictures, I was actually going to do yours last, but I actually put yours first, and we already know we get to the topic late, but I did yours first, and I think you kind of can figure out why. And we'll talk about it when we get to it. I don't want to spoil anything. Patrick Stockel is here. Stockel, I think I got it right. Blue Barnell says, do you have a Fago board? I do not, but they do have the Fago board. It's something else. Everything's modern, but they do have a Fago board for sure. I think I actually think I have the Fago board. I think I would have broken it. I'll look and see. I might have the Fago board. Not sure. Toy Optic says this asshole is just checking in before going to the movie for the night. Well, have fun. I will see you tomorrow on what's that other show we do? Oh yeah, Circle of Jerks. B-Star says Werner is a damn fine ginger ale. We didn't have it here until all the Michiganders moved here for Saturn. No shade. That's how we got it in Tennessee. Hey, people love it. And seriously, like people don't drink different ginger ale here than Verner's. Beardy McBearderson jumping in and say, "Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. I was busy ordering more Fatal Fluffies." Okay, Jim Smith says, "No, the guy in your post, I didn't get the joke," and then doubled down saying 7. Okay, all right. So, so Jim, let me ask you this: did you see anyone else post the Super 7 Fatal Fluffies? Because I didn't. It was right after it. So I posted like in 5 groups about, hey, you know, the Fatal Fluffies are still up, you know, stop losing it. And Jim jumps in and he's like, oh, he put the meme that said like right over my head, and the guy's like, no, I get it, but 7 million people already posted this, and he's like, 7 million people. I'm just the guy was not happy. That's you put the GIF on there. That's yeah, it was awesome. Nolan says Punk was gonna ask where you got your Mighty Max hat, but then I remembered his is red and yellow, not blue and yellow. This is maize and blue, just so we know. And because it is Air Jordan, it is the official maize and blue. And Toy Optics is saying, I lived on Verner's when I lived in Detroit. Again, it is known to help settle stomachs. So when people are sick, they constantly have it. But that was the Verner's board. And like this, Roman. How you doing, buddy? And Sean Forrester saying, hey, all sorry, I'm late. Don't worry, all I'm just doing is rambling on. Yeah, it's not a single one, but he owned me. There's just something that was so butthurt over the whole Fatal Fluffy thing. And in all honesty, I didn't even think about it till I was looking at BB Tiff and I'm like, oh, dude, I should fucking post this. I also didn't expect it to sell out in like 27 seconds, but it did. And again, going back to the poll here, only 51% say, no, I'm a fucking adult. I didn't lose my shit. Oh, now 50. So, all right. Man, it looks like I'm getting all blurry again. I'm going all 8-bit again. I may have to start calling this Monday Night Toy 8-bit. Anyway, there was that. Last week, I had NorCal Voodoo on. A wonderful, wonderful interview with him. Unfortunately, there were some sound issues, which is very, very disappointing. But you're able to hear him, and that's really what mattered. Again, go back and watch it. He has a lot to say. And he's had a rough life in some aspects. And what he had to say, I thought was great. I mean, in talking about, you know, the depression that he suffered when they told him, hey, you're not going to live this long, you're not going to live that long, and how he basically turned it from a very negative into a positive. Those are my favorite ones that I have, because again, it's not about just toys, it's actually about people and everything. So go back and check that out if you haven't. This week though, I will have Joe, I don't want to say his last name because I don't know if people know his last name. Joe from Toy Domination. That means it is not Dom. You're going to actually see the person who actually makes that channel go. They should call it Joe Domination, not Toy Domination. Or would it be Toy Jomination? Either way, nothing I said made any fucking sense whatsoever. Tidarium Hanger says Fluffies are back up. Yep, that's what we were talking about. And hey, Spec told us, like BMAX said, hey, I don't think anyone's gonna have a hard time getting these. And you know, if Woody was able to buy, like, I think Woody has 80 of them. Kind of crazy, but hey, you know what Woody wants to spend his money on? Woody wants to buy 80 of them, let him. My fig voice, late to the party, but thanks for the shout out. Been awesome chatting with you. Keep the ideas coming. I told you don't ask for something that you don't don't ask something that you don't want the answers to. Um, I will continue to give you some ideas, and again, I'm I pride myself on being someone who is willing to take myself out of the only like me being the only person that wants it. Um, it's one of those things. I know not everyone wants the exact same stuff that I do. It looks like I'm freezing up, which is really aggravating. I shouldn't be freezing up as I'm hardwired in. So I will definitely keep sending you the stuff. And same time, Toy Shane became a YouTube member. So quickly, where is it at? We get the.
Welcome to the creamery.
And that's because my daughter's not here, or else I'd have her come in, but she's not here. All right, and let's see. I thought I saw someone else jump in. Oh, Ultra Matches here says, old guy took a nap. Good evening, all. I do this like, I try and take a nap. I was better at taking naps before the show. And then I just get stuck not. And I took like a 10, 12-minute nap. And I was just like, I don't want to do my fucking show. I just want to sleep. But I didn't get to because I had to come here and entertain you monkeys. Anyway, there we go. This week we are going to have Punk's Pit. So this Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you remember, just so you understand, what I do now is there is a specific set of people that I have on, and we chat about all kinds of stuff. It's not just toys. I have a feeling that the issues from today might come up as a topic, but we go all over the place, man. We talk about everything, and believe me, most of it has nothing to do with toys, but it is a lot of fun. You usually see Matthew, Ed, Viper Scout is almost always on there. Crow, 3-star, Woody. So, and we invite some other people on too. So it's to keep a nice cohesion, and you guys get to hear a specific set of voices once a month. And you guys all seem to like it. Oh, and Ken, say hi, Ken. Hi, Ken. But anyway, so before we get into the news for today or the news of the week, I want to talk about the reason why this poll is here. And this has been such a revolving door, and I don't understand it. And I know the guys in the Circle of Jerks chat, they also don't understand it. Why do people lose their mind? Like, this is nothing new. Now, I understand PTSD when it comes to getting exclusives. Now, once again, they are called exclusives. That means not everyone is not everyone is privileged to get it. You are not owed anything. And as we discussed it when it came to a few of the other things, that Skeletor that sold out on Saturday while I was watching Spider-Man, and then it came back up. Pre-order. Won't get it till December unless if I cancel it, right? But there was something else too that recently went up. I forget what caused the big explosion. But it's one of those things where it's like, first off, you make friends in this community. So when you do miss something, hopefully you're able to go out and reach out to other people and just find ways to get it where you're not paying the scalper prices. Oh yes, it was the people losing their mind on the Scarlet and Shebang 2-pack that no one wanted. Remember, like no one wanted Ninja Force. Billy Boys Toys jumping in and saying hello, Punk. Hi, chat. Hope you all are doing well and enjoying your Monday. I know I am. Although I got to work in 10 hours, something like that. And so I know we've all been conditioned, and the fact that people are still they haven't been able to break that the whole I almost said Viper Island, Cobra Island debacle, and then the Pulse exclusives, and all these exclusives that GI Joe had, and some of the other ones, but GI Joe was not as big as it was before. Lenny talked to us at Joe Fest, and he said, there was a time when they had to do everything to pull teeth to get stuff through Hasbro. But after a while, they were like, you do whatever you want as long as it fits in the budget because they knew it was going to sell. So even though we see stuff that sits on shelves and I'm watching people and toys are meant to be there. Stuff is not meant to sell out in 10 minutes. I think a lot of us have forgotten that. Um, Stuff will go on discount. We know that. And Hasbro doesn't want that. I mean, no one does. I mean, no one wants to have stuff go on discount. But it is one of those things that it's an unfortunate part of stuff. And I think now people they lose their mind. They don't get something, or if it doesn't sell out, they're telling you it's the end of the line. Like no one cares anymore. Um, and I think Tidarium Hanger, I did watch his video this weekend. He talks about, his collecting dying. And he touches on a lot of things that I agree with, and some things that I probably don't agree with. Of course, he does it in a video that is it's in a manner where it's someone reasonable talking that's actually thought stuff out rather than just hitting the record button. And hey, listen, I can readily admit that there have been times that I've hit the record and I've gone live and lost my shit. But it's an honest discussion that someone can have, and we have to look and see, like, hey, will the line eventually end? Will all lines eventually end? Probably. I mean, we're still waiting for Origins to end, but hey, eventually it's gonna end, right? But these toys are meant to be there. Now, should they be there a year later? Probably not. That's a bad sign. But again, this is where you course correct. They course corrected with the Vamps. Now, BMAC here, it sounds like he's looking back at some of the stuff that ran its course, and he's like, hey, you know what? We're going to reissue this. Now that I'm seeing what they're doing with the Arctic Bat and the Range Viper, I bet any money that box for the Vamp that they're supposed to reissue will be different. I bet it will not be the same, which means if you are an inbox collector, it will keep its value. Well, it will hold some value. Lego Star Wars Kisses. Honestly, I didn't even want the SDCC exclusives, but gosh darn, they have a number. That is something that is. They were smart to do it. They definitely were smart to do it. And hopefully and it was brought up at Joe Fest about the numbers. And I said, do you know if there's been talk about the numbers ending? And they said there has been talk. He said, yes, they've discussed ending the numbers. They didn't say if they said they would, but I'm still understanding that, hey, we've all agreed that we fucking hate daylight savings time. Arizona, good on you guys that you actually don't have daylight savings time. They all agree. Like it could, and again, this is not a political thing, but could anything be more US politics than, hey, the right and the left both agree that daylight savings is stupid, but we can't make it go away. Daylight savings time is dumb. We have lights these days. Evil Dookie jumping in here saying, Punks and Gent, how are you doing? And I totally lost my train of thought of what I was talking about. But no, like, we are so conditioned, but people lose their minds. And again, when I'm in the G.I. Joe Facebook groups, and this is why I say G.I. Joe fans, like at least 50% of them, they're just G.I. Joe fans. They know Pulse, they know Amazon, they don't know BBTS, they don't know Entertainment Earth, they don't know Nerdzoic, they don't know there's a local shop. They can go to Target, they can go to Walmart. Sometimes they find stuff, sometimes they don't. They don't understand that Super 7 is doing O-ring figures, and they don't care. They see Super 7, Ultimates, and they're like, this is too expensive. They don't realize it's too expensive because it's a cheap product, not because it's more expensive than a classified. And so this is where, people need to learn. They need to take the time and stop being so irrational when it comes to everything. And I think this is a society that we live in today. But once again, it goes back to where I said I believe that most G.I. Joe fans are just that. They are G.I. Joe fans. That's all they care about. They don't really pay attention to the toy community, and that's fine, but it also creates a problem for you by not understanding that, hey, this is how this hobby works. Hey, why is it so expensive? Well, hobbies are expensive and toy collecting is extremely expensive. It just is. And again, do I think a classified figure is probably priced in Black Series and in Legends at 28 probably too much? Probably. But we drop $55 on a Mythic Legion and don't even think twice about it. I buy a Mezco for 120, don't even think anything about it. So $30 is not crazy for a figure as long as you're getting a good amount and it's good quality. Carlos saying All Striker sold out during the latest sale. Oh, I never had a chance to get the All Striker Death of the Line. It went back up for sale. I don't know if it sold out again, but it did go back up. I know that. I already have one, so I wasn't worried about getting another one. Um, I figured there will be a colorway that will eventually come, and yes, when it when it does come out, I'll have to get it and I'll have to find space for it, which is a lot of fun. Evo Dookie says people need patience. We've become the I want it now, forget it in a minute society. Absolutely correct. I've talked about it. I talked to my clients. Our copy machines are instant, right? Now, to get an instant copy like that, it means the machine is literally running 24/7, or at least until it goes to sleep mode. So it'll run for 3 hours or 4 hours, if you whatever. It'll run completely. And what happens is when the parts start failing, or they start like bearings start rusting or whatever, they start making this rumbling noise. And I tell people, I go, hey, I can put this in silent mode. It will prolong the parts, but hold on, you're going to have a slight delay. I'm like, what's a slight delay? The machine is from completely cooled down to warmed up. It's 6 to 9 seconds, depending on the machine. And most people are like, not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Let's do it. I always tell people when I turn it off, because if I don't, the wrong person's going to come up there and lose his mind, usually a president or a vice president. But it tells me that, hey, people used to have to wait 15 minutes for a copy machine to warm up. Now they're complaining that a 9-second warm up time is just too long. Like, I can't sit here for that long. Like, you can. You're probably on your fucking phone anyway. I mean, I know I've been on my phone fixing your machine. That's a whole nother story, right? But yeah, the issue definitely does come with that's our society that we live in, unfortunately. And it's good for some things. And yes, I love the fact that I order from Amazon and it just shows up the next day or in 2 days, right? But what happens when it gets delayed? The Spider-Man Noir, it got delayed for no reason, but it got delayed by 1 day. I didn't lose my mind. I'm sure other people probably did. And Billy, like, see, you make jokes, but I'm telling you, like, people truly do, like, they can't accept that. Now, if you send a copy to it, by the time you get up and walk over there, they don't even notice. It's when someone walks over to the copy machine and they run it, and the wrong person uses it, and it takes that long, and they're losing their mind. The other thing is, people will lose their mind if you don't tell them, because then they're like, hey, it doesn't do what it used to do. And now you're going back out there and explaining that, well, I turned this off. And the only reason why someone doesn't tell you is because they're scared they're going to say, don't do it. And usually the guys that turn it off, they're turning it off because they don't want to fix the fucking problem. And that is a problem in itself. But that's a whole nother issue. Whole can of worms that I don't even want to get into. But anyway, if you are one of the people, if you're watching this on the replay, you're actually someone in the chat that watches me on a weekly basis. And first off, if you don't know how I am, then that's on you. These things come back in stock. The other thing that I would say is do not run directly to eBay and buy it. If that money is a problem, right? If spending $120 on the shebang and Scarlet 2-pack, if that's an issue for you, do not run to eBay. If it's not, then who cares? If you're like, I don't really give a shit, I want this figure and I'll pay it, then by all means go do it. But the biggest issue becomes, and I tell people this, wait a second. It's probably never going to go up past this. It's probably never going to go up past this price. So if you wait it out, you might be able to get it cheaper, or when it comes down, more come in stock. But either way, if it doesn't, you're probably never going to pay more than that. So, and if you're not doing reviews, you don't need to be in such a rush. And that's one of the things that I think, you know, I say it all the time. Don't try and compete with me. And hey, Punk got this or Punk has all these. I don't try and compete with Woody. I'm not trying to compete with Shark Eyes and Bobby B. They get the stuff earlier than I do. It's not what I'm going to do. It's not in my financial budget. And again, I don't know how they get theirs. I know Shark is obviously in Australia, so things come differently. I don't know how Bobby gets his. And frankly, I don't care. He's able to get it early. It's wonderful. It helps out. Don't try and compete with everyone else. That's the biggest thing that I can say. If it's not in your budget, then just hold off on it. Wait. Something else will come about. There will be something else that you can waste your money on. Be 100% honest. GI Jetman jumping in here, saying, what's up, Punk and chat. I can also see that I am back to 8-bit. I don't know why, but I shouldn't have any issues. I think I'm definitely going to have them come out and figure out what the fuck is going on. Why now this is happening. But it's a hard way to do a stream when shit looks like this. And it's not even telling me there's any issues. So Tiderum Hanger says Transformer collectors are very upset about Target canceling exclusive Starscream and other Transformers a few days ago. And that actually went along with the whole Starscream thing went along with the same with the the Scarlet and Shebang. That was like one of their things. Like because those both came out on the same day. I was able to get both if I wanted. I didn't need the Starscream. I don't collect Transformers. I was just trying to get that. And so the guy behind me, he got the last Starscream that was there. That started. But I'm not in the Transformers. And again, I feel like I'm smart enough to realize that every single group is going to have this type of issue. G.I. Joe is what I just in the most. I recently saw somebody post. This is funny. I recently saw someone post about how doesn't it seem funny how the smaller brands don't lose their mind and it's not as toxic. Like brands like Operation Monster Force and Valaverse. And oh boy, do we have a laugh at that fucking one. Not toxic. Oh, I'm sorry. You meant the most toxic. Oh, I'm sorry. I read your post wrong. But yeah, I'm assuming every group is the exact same way. So, but let's get into some of the stuff here. Ultra Mesh says, did anyone else's Laura Croft pre-order get dumped on to Big Bad Toys wait list, even though they still have it for pre-order number? Nah, well, I don't ever read. I'll admit I don't go and relook, but I'm trying to figure out what's coming. What's coming that week? So no, I have no idea. Well, that's interesting. Billy Boy's Toy says, I ordered my first Transformers the other day, a Pocket Toys Soundwave. You've never had a Transformer? Or do you mean like recently? Because how could you not have a Transformer? I mean, even I have Transformers. Literally, like, Like right here, like I even got Transformer, like this little guy. So like this was the one from our childhood, but it was a keychain. I also have Cliff Jumper here. The Cliff Jumper is still better than Bumblebee. I have Bumblebee somewhere around here. Anyway, well, I also got this guy too because he's Scarecrow. So there we go. Look at that. I gotta hide and then it zooms in on it. Anyway, there you go. I think that's about it for right now. Payne Story Sentinel jumping in and saying, Nolan, Ed, STT. I don't know why you have a STD. But you know what? Let's get into some news. We got some Motu stuff to talk about. We got some Four Horsemen stuff to talk about. Maybe a little bit of G.I. Joe, but not very much. But there's some stuff to talk about. Oh, wait a minute. Payne says, got a surprise in store for next week. Well, I don't know it. So, I mean, I'm kind of a big deal. I should know everything. But anyway, let's quickly take a quick break. That's actually me needing to go take a quick break. So you guys are going to get to hear from this guy.
And now back to Cobra News Now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have received word that our field correspondent, Scrap Iron, is on scene at Mars Industries, and he has interviewed a few eyewitnesses and forwarded those statements over to us as he tries to get closer for a better vantage point on the fire. So let's take a listen to these eyewitness statements and see if we can discover what has happened here tonight.
All right, so I'm out here just ripping this mini ramp that's made by Mars Industries. Don't ask, I don't understand why they sponsored it. But anyway, I hear this huge explosion, and I hear all these people yelling and screaming that this thing's on fire, and they tell me to call 911, so I call 911. We got the ESU police here, and we got the firefighters, and wait a minute, don't you work for Mars Industry and the Iron Grenadiers too?
Oh yeah, that's a wicked fire, eh? Good bonfire for burning the moose on. Kind of reminds me, it reminds me of the one that we did at Justin Bieber every year at Stratford Festival. Just as much smoke, big flame. We do that to keep Sasquatch away. What'd you do yours for, eh?
Yeah, how you doing? I was walking down the street, hanging out, minding my own business. About to sit down on the park bench here and just enjoy my meal here. I got a nice little delicious lunch made by my wife, my lovely wife. She's a great cook. Sometimes not the best, but listen. We all suffice, right? And I'm sitting here on the bench about to open up my lunch box after a long day of work. I'm a construction worker. If you haven't noticed, I got this hard hat on, right? And I'm sitting here chilling. And next thing you know, I smell burning. And I go, what is that? And then the explosion, the loud, boom! I'm like, oh, what the hell was that? What's going on? You sound like Aaron Judge cracked a home run. I'm freaking out. I look up, and Mars Industries is on fire. And I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? The building just blew up. It's on fire now. And no one can have any answers. Nobody has any answers. Next thing you know, the fire shows up. The cops show up. Nobody knows what's going on. But damn things for sure, that building blew up. Now listen, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but I'll tell you this. The owner of that building, he wears a metal helmet. Who's wearing a metal helmet? Just to do business. Something don't smell right. You understand what I'm saying? That building, that was an inside job. You can quote me on that. Thank you for having me on the news. I've never been on the news before. This is fantastic. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And before we go, I want to shout out some people. My man Shane, my man Woody, my man Mike. I appreciate you all. Take it easy, guys. I appreciate you. I'm on the freaking news right now. This is fantastic.
Well, that was certainly something. So let's see if we can check back in with Scrap Iron and see if he's been able to locate Destro or the Baroness, find out the cause of this fire. Over to you, Scrap Iron. Scrap Iron. Scrap, are you there? Looks like we might be having some technical difficulties, and oh my God. Oh, I'm going to have to go over there now.
All right, so quickly here, it's same time Tori says Cliff Jumper kicks ass, but I'll keep Sunstreak granted. Okay, I was comparing the small ones, and I will take Sideswipe over Sunstreaker any day. But with that said, the Lamborghini Countach, the red one, was my favorite car for the longest time. So even though the Sunstreaker is a yellow Lamborghini Countach, it has that ugly engine that just shouldn't be there. Uh, so anyway, okay. Let's see here. I'm just making sure no one else jumped in here. So let's get into the news. And we'll start off with a little bit of Master of the Universe. And I recently talked about this. I talked about this earlier. Yes, facts. And I got great facts. And if I don't have great facts, I just lie about them. I never let I never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Okay. So Date Night Skeletor or whatever he is. This went up on that day. Saturday, not this Saturday, but last Saturday. And I totally missed it. Now, I could have lost my mind. I could have got here and started typing away and how much I hate Mattel Creations and why wasn't it on Mattel Creations and BBTS and these, but I didn't. They were in stock ones that they had in stock. So Nerdzork had some in stock, Entertainment Earth, and BBTS. I have no idea how they came about this, how they broke it apart. I don't know, nor do I care. And I went about my business and I thought, hey, well, we'll see if they come back in stock. Sure enough, they went up for pre-order. So, as you can see, if you wait it out, sometimes stuff will pop up and pop back in stock and you'll be able to get it. So if you wanted this, I believe it sold out on BBTS again. Entertainment Earth, I know it did go back up. I don't know if it sold out or not. And quickly here, Stephen is jumping in saying good evening with his Arashikage logo there. Wait, 610. I didn't even see 610 pop in here. There he is, 610 Yojo Daddy. There you go. How you doing? Saying, what's up, punk? What's up, fellas? Y'all smash that like button and subscribe. Yes, please do that. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're here, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but subscribe. But again, if you wanted this, once again, what we've talked about is things will go back up in stock. So just calm down. Don't lose your mind going on eBay and having to get it right away. And again, if you don't care about spending the money, then by all means, feel free to go do it. Don't get mad and call them scalpers. You're technically choosing to do that. I know that people, if you can order 3, if people think that it's going to sell out, they'll order 3 so they can turn around and hopefully cover their end. So, but that's it. That's all the Motu. McFarlane. I'm glad that Allison, she was here because we're down to the last few months. And McFarlane is going to do his best. But first off, we have these Hell Divers. I know nothing about Hell Divers, but I do know you get more stuff than you get with a DC multiverse. Here's this Hell Diver. I follow this guy on Instagram. I do not remember his name. And he popped up and he makes me laugh because he's always ripping on McFarlane. And he talks about how they can't pose. And if you like it, buy it. I don't care. But don't tell me. And he's like, every time I say something, someone's like, I can pose a McFarlane. And like one picture, he's like, yeah, it's always this or this. And like the poses that he did, I laughed because, and he's like, or he talked about the Mortal Kombat ones. He's like, they should be able to get awesome fighting poses, but you get this. So it made me laugh because it makes me know that I'm not the only one that thinks the same thing about McFarlane here. But anyway, here's the Hell Divers. If you are interested, all this stuff, this is an elite, which means I think you're paying like $60 for it. It's out there right now. GI Bro says, but they bought the thing I wanted, and they wanted before me, and that's BS. Yes, that's how it is. And then Allison here saying, 39 Batman, 17 Jokers, 5 Robins, 2 have the wrong cape, and a bag of Apple Peels that are the Batman of the alternative reality Earth Apple. Well, I think you might have went through my slides already. So Lego Star Wars says the Helldivers 2 is a great co-op game. And again, I don't play games. I know that it is somewhere that it would lead me down another path of taking time that I don't have. I already spent enough time here in this seat doing stuff for you monkeys. I don't have time to play video games and then connect with the rest of you guys. And I want to have some time for myself. So anyway, here's the Helldivers. If you are interested, yeah, you know what? Pick it up. It does look pretty cool, but I have no connection to it. But if I want to cover McFarlane, I gotta find something. Matthew says, "What about the Jokerized apples?" All right. So, this I think I'm not positive. These next few pictures I think are from Sergeant Pepper's Hobby Club. I'm not positive. If you know for sure where these pictures came from, and if it's Sergeant Pepper's Hobby Club, if you know for sure, please let me know in the comments because I want to make sure that they get full credit for their pictures because I would have no fucking clue who this is. Oh, wait a minute. I see it now. Dude, okay, listen, there's being obnoxious about stuff, and then there's this. You don't have to put like you can put it right above it. You can put it down by his feet or whatever. But come on, man. Like, seriously, or put it on the fucking side. Like, dude, seriously, this is overkill. I understand you want credit, but come on. So anyway, Bane in the packaging, gold label. Again, he's going out with a fucking fight. That is McFarlane himself. I don't know how much he can fight, but I'm assuming not that great. Derek Holloman says, "Hello, pass on all the SDCC exclusives. Didn't need a single one. I guess I like some of the exclusives, but you know, I survived. Lego Star Wars, and you have to watch 90210. Well, what do you mean I have to? I love it. This once again comes from Sergeant Pepper's Hobby Club. Let's make sure they get credit. So here is why can't I think of his name? I want to say Doomsday. That's why Doomsday. Big Doomsday. Once again, another gold label. We get Peak Robin from now I don't know how many of these are going to get done, right? This is from the cartoon, right? This is from Justice League, I believe, multiverse here. So I don't know how many of these they're going to get done. I know he's going to pump out as many as possible. Now this is Batman adjacent, right? Bane is Batman adjacent. Doomsday is Superman adjacent. This is as close to Batman as possible. Well, we haven't got the Batman yet. Oh shit, here we are. So here we go. Also from Sergeant Pepper's Hobby Club. I will never repeat his name as much ever again on a fucking show. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe he'll have more slides. And if you follow this guy, you might want to say, hey, you know what? Cool it with your fucking name on everything. It is a little overkill. It is truly a little overkill. But anyway, this is the Batman 66 2-pack. I believe they said this is the first 2-pack that they've done. I can see the bust there, where they would go down the poles. There's a few other things there, but his name is fucking right across it, so I don't know if there's anything else. This here is the type of 2-pack that you should have. Now, let's be honest. No reason to have Batman 66 without Robin. Look at this. We got Ronnie Trickshot. I mean, classified Ronnie saying, hey, boys, was late on purpose. Have we finished talking about Fatal Fluffies yet? Yes and no. There's some more Fatal Fluffy talk at the end, but not about the I lost my fucking mind. All right. Deluxe Theatrical Edition Batman. I know what you were thinking. Dude, I needed a Robert Pattinson Batman. Again. That has stat eyes. He has bags underneath his eyes. This guy is sad. He's had better days. But he's still trying to live his best life. Um, I do think that this does look pretty good, other than I can't stop looking at the pins. Not a fan of the eyes. I think this one actually looks good. You get a soft goods cape, and from my understanding, their soft good capes are hit or miss. I know I was on a show a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the um, the spawn with the cape, and the one guy said, "Man, that should have been good," and that cape is just dog shit. So, um, so Billy Boy Story says, "I've been thinking about getting a McFarlane Devastator and customizing it to be Doomsday. Wouldn't take much. Well, now you can just get the McFarlane Doomsday. You don't have to worry about customizing anything." But anyway, this kind of reminds me of that Batman movie, the way the cape sits and everything. He was a sad Batman, but actually a really good movie. So here's everything that he's going to come with: multiple hands, a face sculpt that no one's ever going to fucking use. Talk about a waste of plastic, but hey, it comes with it. And there's the box for it. But hey, there's more when it comes to Batman, because you're like, hey, can we get another Batman? Well, you are in luck. So here is Batman from like Justice League or Batman versus, I don't know, whatever the fuck it is. It's Batfleck. Batflack or whatever the fuck he goes by. So this one I think looks really good. And I gotta say, as I looked at this head sculpt, I almost feel like it looks like Ben Affleck. But then I think it doesn't look like Ben Affleck, but it almost looks like Ben Affleck. And then I look at it, I'm like, I can't tell if I think this looks like Ben Affleck or not. So 3 different head sculpts. They show you them all. It's like you can tell that's supposed to be Ben Affleck when he's, the Bruce Wayne portrait. The Batman with the goggles above his eyes, that, at least in this angle, that nails how Batman should look as the Batfleck. The other one looks kind of weird. He looks more like Owlman than anything, without being able to see the eyes. But I gotta say, I think the head sculpt, I'm circling like you guys can see it. I think the one with the goggles up, I think they nailed that head sculpt. Billy Boy Story says, I didn't care for the Batman at all. I kept falling asleep. The movie is really dark, and I don't mean the tone. Oh no, it is, but it is a detective movie. That is not an action movie. That is not a superhero movie. That is truly a detective movie. It is a suspense thriller, and not everyone not everyone wanted that or was ready for that. All right, so here you go, gold label. Here's everything that he just come with. So if you wanted a Batman, you're like, hey, those first 2 Batman, they're just not for me. You have this one. Then we have, well, what the hell happened there? I have no idea how that skipped like that. Here we have Catwoman. Now I know this is from Batman Returns. It's like sometimes McFarlane nails the face sculpt. Other times it's this. Like, you commend them for, all right, we're gonna pull the hair out, the ripped mask, here it is, part of it's hanging out the front. But at some point, how is no one like, this just doesn't work, no matter how much we try, and I love the idea of it, it just doesn't work. Now, the suit itself actually looks pretty good, to be honest. that huge that big sheen to it, because it's obviously supposed to be leather. We can see the rips in it, we can see all the stitching, but the head sculpt just no, no. But if you needed this version and you're like, hey, I fucking love it, then awesome, good for you. You can love it. It just doesn't look good. And Derek Holloman says, I pre-ordered this Catwoman. Good for you. It looks awful, but I don't have to live with it in my house. So, and Billy Boy Story says, well said, Punk. It's not an action movie. No, and it's not. And I can understand why people, they might be seeing a Batman movie and they're like, hey, I want an action movie. I'm not in it for, for a thriller, for a detective movie. And that's fine. There's more than enough Batman. There will be more. So, and I think you understand that. I think they have one person at McFarlane who can do heads, but they've only done like 3 sculpts to date. No, recently they've started doing some really good ones. But then, sometimes they're not so good. Lego Star Wars Kid says, dear Lord, we just need a superpowers Green Arrow and another classic Hawkman. Tony, is this your burner account? Tony, is this your fucking burner account? You sound like Tony now. NorCal Voodoo says that Catwoman sold out fairly quickly after it launched on BBTS. I can understand why. I mean, people may want it, and they know it's the best thing they're going to get. Now, the alternate head sculpt doesn't look bad, but this one here, yeah. Tidarium Hanger says, I was so upset about missing Once a Man Cobra Commander. I stopped Classified for a while and completed the vintage. Yeah, holy shit. Damn, you completed the vintage G.I. Joe run? I've accepted I'm never going to do that. I've come to that conclusion that I'm not completing that. But I'm happy with what I have. And I slowly pick at it. I can't even imagine getting into, and I'm, and I don't know where you were at. And I'm already ahead with the USS Flag and the Terradrome and stuff like that. But wow, all because of Once a Man Cobra Commander. Lightfoot says her biscuit dough brands are oozing out. Yeah, pretty much. So there you go. If you're interested in this, now, I never liked this movie. I talked about it. I don't know why I didn't like this movie. I do not like this movie. And I've gone back and I've tried watching it. I absolutely. Oh, figures. Just the figures. Not okay. Either way, that's still pretty impressive because there are some really, really expensive, figures. So either way, that is pretty much that is still difficult. But yes, much more manageable if you're not getting a Defiant and stuff like that. Billy Boy Story says, you think the secondary market prices are going to skyrocket after McFarlane loses the license? I honestly, I don't even know what to think. And Tony and I have talked about this. And as Lego Star Wars says, I am not Tony, which makes me think you are. I'm not sure. Like Tony and I have discussed this. There are going to be people that want that McFarlane. They've already collected it all. They don't want to recollect the stuff, and they might be willing to pay the price. And my thinking is it's not going to, only because I think that Mattel is going to make them look so much better. But if you're not willing to change your whole scale and start redoing everything, then those things may just keep their price or keep their value. But like I said, I don't know. Like Tony and I have gone back and forth and discussed this. I don't even know. So I wouldn't want to say one way or another. It could be boom, they shoot up in value, or they fucking crash. I'm surprised any of his stuff goes up. So it'd be nice if some of it did, because I do have some of it that I'd love to sell and make some money off it. Billy Boy says, I've never seen a mobile command center in person. If it makes you feel any better, I have a mobile command center that I bought at Joe Fest that I still haven't got out of the box and out of the box that I bought it in. And what pisses me off the most about this is that I bought it off Woody like 9 months before Joe Fest. He's like, you want me to bring it to Joe Fest? We can save on shipping. I'm like, fucking perfect. I told him, I'm like, man, that weekend that I get back from Florida, I'm like just spending the weekend playing with that thing because I've never had it and I've always wanted it. And fucking BBTS was like, oh, hey, here's all the Operation Monster Force shit. Oh, and don't forget about all your fucking Joe Fest exclusives. Oh, don't worry, Marvel has some stuff like. So the 3 things, well, technically the 4 things that I bought off of him, I haven't even taken them out of the box yet. That mobile command center is one I need to get out because I really want to take some pictures with it. I just want to fucking play with it. I don't care that I'm 50 fucking years old. I actually like playing with my damn toys. Matthew says the McFarlane figures that no one will ever reproduce, but all the standard ones Mattel will do better. And my only thing with this, Matthew, is that I would agree with you, except for we've already seen that in the kid line, they're doing Jokerized figures. So it makes me think like, and you look at like what they've done with Origins and what they're doing with, the Master of the Universe, they're doing these obscure characters. So it makes me think that they might be willing to do that for the DC line. And if they're willing to do that with the DC line, it kills anything that McFarlane did, right? Because now people go, well, I can just get in the scale. The other issue is they're so out of fucking scale. So, an obscure DC character that you're like, hey, they're never going to do again. Well, it doesn't fit in the line anyway. So, why does the value go up? And that's why I'm just like, I don't even know where to tell. Like, if someone said, what should I do? First off, don't invest in toys for retirement. That's all I can say about that. That is a dumb idea. Brad and I'm jumping in and saying, hey, what's up, everyone? And Larry. I'm just, and on my own show. Anyway, we're spending way too much time on this. All right. So I absolutely love the look of this. Commissioner Gordon. I love the fact that he is a mead. And he is a mead pad of paper. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The mead pad of paper. This is Oxford right here. We all had these to go with our Trapper Keepers. I'm like, hey, fucking commissioner, where's your Trapper Keeper? I think this looks awesome. So like this goes to like, hey, where you said, hey, they only have like one good guy that does good face sculpts. This one looks fucking great. Why can't it be 6-inch scale? Because this would be a great suited body. Same time, Tori says, oh my God, Punk, take an aspirin before you open it. You're at heart attack risk opening that toy. I sat on it this long. I think I'll be okay. But thank you for your worriness. I'm trying to read what he said. He says, he's talking at the same time toys saying, I bet it is same time toys. I would love to play with it as a kid. And then he says, LOL, why would that make me feel better, Punk? I don't know. Dominic Johnson jumping in saying, I already think the basic figures are 90% better than anything McFarlane did. You're not alone. But it's how deep that they go. That's the biggest thing. But this figure really does look good. Unfortunately, it doesn't scale with anything. I do have a couple McFarlane figures. Like I have Sergeant Rock. And then I have the military version of Wonder Woman's boyfriend. I can't think of his name because they're military. So I could see myself getting this guy, kind of putting him with that stuff, but they don't, they don't scale with anything. So there you go. If you want this, it is available. He is Batman adjacent. Harley Quinn, Batman adjacent. I put this on the bat. I put this on here just because I know some collectors really love to look at female asses. So here you guys go. You guys can look at it. You guys can judge it. Is it up to your standard for female action figures? She comes with the Big Bang and her croquet mallet. All right, on to Four Horsemen. Now I did not go get prices. I didn't get names, nothing like that. So I'll let you guys help me out if if you need. So this is the Infinite Legions, the Skeleton Warriors Rise Again. Now I do not remember the Skeleton Warriors. These things look pretty fucking badass. And I have a feeling that some people are going to be super excited because I know guys like Matthew absolutely love skeletons. But here is I don't know, like a half Wolverine, half human skeleton, a weird robotic foot. There's two different types of feet. This is interesting. Probably not my favorite, but it is something, that is for sure. Soft goods cape, I would assume, right? Usually wired capes. I don't think they use anything else as it is for Horsemen. And I don't know why he has two different types of feet. Now, I know nothing. If I am correct, this is an old property. Same Time Toy says the main bad guy is such a badass looking figure, and that was in the 90s. I have no idea. Ultra Match says, I filed these under dirt. I think that you're in the minority. Now, I love this, like this angle here. So I think like a skeleton like that would look awesome. But yeah. Okay, Highest Me says, the Mattel basic figures and most of the McFarlane did with DC are aiming for a completely different target as far as sculpt style. I agree with that. But will they go deep with the line? Because I think that's what sells a lot of the McFarlane stuff. Again, there will be somebody that will post in every DC group saying, we need this figure now. Now, I'm not saying there's anyone like that posts in the G.I. Joe groups that every time he sees something, he says, we need this right now. But I'm sure that there will be at least one person in the DC community that does that every time a fucking figure is shown. So here you go. I have no idea what this guy's name is. He is pretty cool looking. Matthew says they are bad to the bone. Hey, skeletons with capes. Dude, listen. It's not the Incredibles. No capes. No capes. Here's everything that he does come with. I believe they're a $55 price point. So, yes. Why isn't Hasbro making this now? They're letting us down. Yep, there's that one. They're leaving money on the table. Because that thing would cost $400. That's the reason why they're not making it. All right. Here is Dr. Octavius of the Skeletons. No idea what this guy is. But he looks interesting. That is for sure. So here he is. I love the bone color. I just think it really does pop. This is one of those ones where I'd be like, you know what? I'm trying to get out of Mythic Legions, and I'm actually even thinking about, I was actually telling Tony, I'm thinking about maybe selling what I have off. But I know that once I grab the figures, I'm like, man, I bought this for a reason. Wow, are those Ariana Grande action figures? Oof. Does she look bad now? I mean, I really don't know. I know how she is. I knew who she is. So here you go. I like the fact this guy has this little spinning mace or whatever it is. And again, you can pop these off. So if you just want to have a regular one where you don't have to worry about it, yeah. I can't believe they made X before Flash. It took me a second. It took me a second because Flash is obviously a DC character, but that was an awesome play on words, and they because that's what we have heard, and technically they could do that. They could do that. 3-star says these skeletons look healthier than Ariana Grande. Does she look bad? Like, honestly, I have no idea. I know who she is. Anyway, now I'm gonna have to look her up after, or someone will send me a text of what she looks like. There's that. None of you guys know how to get a hold of me. But anyway, here you go. Not a fan of this little skeleton thing here. The web, not skeleton, the spider web, but no, it is what it is. It looks like a spider cannon. Nope. Don't need that in my life. Don't need this in my life, that's for sure. Matthew says, I still need the Mythic Legions Tavern sets I ordered. Other than that, I think I'm done with them. I used to like the figure of Skiras, but I don't know anymore. Yeah, I think I skipped the last one. Yeah. Some of them just yeah, they're just not. They're not doing it anymore for me. But I'm completely shifted away because I'm not doing Savage Crucibles either anymore. But yeah. Highest says she is thin, Punk, like a skeleton. All right. Then there's this guy here. Whatever he is. He's kind of like a samurai, somewhat, kind of. I don't know. I said samurai. I don't know if he is. He does have his sword on the right side, so it means Matthew will be okay with him. He won't have to fix anything. The blue bone structure does look pretty cool. Just a little bit different. It definitely has a nice little pop to it. We have the Lost Ranger jumping his saying Cosmic Legion's investment isn't holding my interest anymore. Wish I bought more Valorverse instead. I'm sorry. Paul Morales, how are you? You can still get them. It's not like they're expensive. At least they didn't disrespect Japanese culture. Is that really disrespecting? Because they put the sword on the other side? I don't know if it's disrespecting. I mean, technically, isn't disrespecting making them ninjas who you say aren't real? Isn't that more disrespectful? And also, our copiers are a Japanese manufacturer. Let's just say, if I had my chance to insult some of the people that designed these, and it would insult their generation after generation after generation. Anyway, moving on. This looks like something I would see at Disney World. And then we have this guy here, who is probably the coolest looking one of them all. He kind of has like I believe like a monkey skull here. I like the red bones. You can see like the monkey feet. I'm assuming there's like monkey. This guy would probably fit in really well with Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. So I think that these would probably look pretty damn good put together. And he obviously has some sort of like, again, I don't know what their story was, but he has guns and different shit like that. So Callister says Cosmic Legions are recycling accessory set items now too. Well, again, Four Horsemen is no different than every other company. They're going to recycle stuff. they're going to recycle stuff. They got to get that money out of that mold for sure. Their accessory sets are things I actually do really like. I think they're pretty cool. I know Ed and I talked about it. I know I think he picked up a couple, or at least he was going to at Joe Fest when we were at the at Top Dog. All right. I think it's called cultural appropriation when skeletons dress this way. All right, Matthew. The swords on the right hip are extremely disrespectful. Saying ninjas aren't real is just a fact most Japanese know. Then it doesn't fucking matter that the sword is on the wrong side because you just said ninjas aren't real. So how can you disrespect something that isn't real? I'm just going to leave it right there. Beardy McBurney says ninjas are real. They have air fryers, ice cream makers, and toaster ovens. Very true. um, what is this? Woody says, yeah, we know it wasn't Punk that sent it. Oh, I totally missed what we're talking about. Oh, here it is. It says, yeah, it was really nice of the guy who sent me the box, Woody. What the fuck did I get? I mean, I'm just taking fucking straight bullets here, like nothing. Like what the hell? Baldy Locks jumping in here, and what do we get for Baldy? But a says my dog dropped something that looks like that in the grass today. Well, good for your dog. Good for your dog. So anyway, if you are interested, these will be coming out soon. I'd say I like this guy the most, but I don't think it's anything that I'm going to go down that road. And Allison says ninjas are real; they just don't leave witnesses. That is very true. That is very true. I like that one. That is a hell of a way to look at it. All right, Big Bad Workshop. Now, I'm putting this in here for the fact that we've already talked about all of this stuff, but these are the SDCC exclusives and the Joe Fest exclusives. They go up on their website this Friday, I believe at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is a very awkward time because normally stuff goes up at 1 p.m. Eastern for most of the companies. So this is the Joe Fest exclusives. It's the Eagle Force, the Delta Red Blood Wash. Now this is the 4-inch figure. So this is the modern 1/18 scale figure. So don't be like, oh shit, I haven't seen this. Yeah, this is a 4-inch figure. So if you're not doing 1/18 scale, it's nothing that's going to interest you. But just know that it does go up in sale this Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, again, kind of late. But this is what they do. They put it up later. All right. Blood Watch Elite. And they look good. I mean, they just look like scaled down versions. Now, they're not scaled down versions like Skeletron, where they're almost the exact same. They have different articulation. They don't have as much articulation, but you can see all the cues that come pretty damn close to it. B is Battleground jumping in here saying, wait, they can give an actual time. I know some other companies that just say a day and have a surprise time. Who are you talking about? Clinton Yorgeson says they need to discount these for Joe Fest attendees. Really? Do they? All right, so here's everything that you get with them. Again, if you're into the 4-inch stuff, you're definitely going to like this. B says, but at least everyone will be home from work. Well, if you're on the East Coast. All right. This is the one I don't think they're gonna have many of these. These are selling for do like 190. Uh, People want this. So understand this. If you missed the first Agents of Omega, you get everything that came with Agents of Omega, plus you get the wrapped head, the wrapped head, and the wrapped forearms. But it is the exact same figure, just with extra stuff. So if the box is something that you worry about, then you're not going to want to get this to replace the Agents of Omega. If you just want the figure, then this is all you need to get, and you're going to get more. This wrapped head sculpt is actually really good. It's used from eraser, but it doesn't have anything translucent. It looks really good, and I really like the Agents of Omega stuff. So here's everything that you get with it. I believe the price point is $60, so it is pricey for sure. The snake doesn't move. The snake looks amazing, but what you see is how it stays. But you get everything here. You get this, these different knives. One's a machete, one's a knife. You get the map. So a lot of play features, and like I said, you get the exact same head sculpts. You get the exact same head sculpts that you got with the first figure. So you get everything. And Matthew says, just because everything red and black seems to be the same, what about the Horde Swarm Trooper from Valaverse? That was red and black before these. Are you saying that they copied red and black? All right. I have no interest in the tick. It is. I remember watching it, and I did find it. I did find it comical. I really like this. If I would have realized this translucent and how good it looks, I may have asked Spec to pick it up. This might be one that I'm looking to get on Friday. If I miss it, then I miss it. I don't really care. I'm still on the fence because I think it's like $40, maybe even more. But this is fucking this is just like, hey, you know what? I want to do take some pictures. This is a perfect fucking figure. I can throw him in anything. These are designed by Valaverse. They fit him absolutely to a T. I think this is really good now because it's being translucent. You can see where the pinned joints are. Well, you can see where the joints are. They're not pinned, but they look like they're pinned there because of that. This is fun. I love the candy apple green translucent, and we know that the Big Bad Workshop, they love to do the translucent exclusives. So this guy, I mean, he's awesome, and it does come with ooze. So if you want slime, you want everything, yeah. I don't believe it's glow in the dark. I don't believe that it's glow in the dark. I didn't see it say it was anywhere. I think it's just a regular translucent. But maybe if someone has one, they can say if they. I don't think Spec got it, to be honest, which I don't know why. I think he kind of kicked himself. It just says include slime, so I would assume that it would have said that it was. It would have said that it was glow in the dark. Now it does come with two stands. Now this is the same blood stain, the same blood stand. Yes, that came with the Dracula. So they found a way to reuse it. This is just cool, man. Like this is like, hey, I can buy this. I don't need to be all in on the tick or want to. This is the type of stuff that I really like. So, all right, this is the Shadow Warg. Right here. Give me 1 second. This is the Shadow Warg. Now, I don't have the werewolf head on it. This is actually the vampire head. He comes with multiple heads. He does match with this one. So they have the same type because it's actually like the same technology. So I guess you can kind of look at it and think of it as the dire tech stuff, right? So if you have this guy and you like his color, all the head sculpts that come with him, you can use on this body too. They match up really well. Um, it's actually a really fun figure. So if you are on the fence, if you're thinking about it, I know no one watched my review of this. So if you want to see it, go watch my review. This one is really, I really do like this. This is probably my favorite translucent, uh, the translucent color that they did. All right. So here is the vampire, a lot of different weapons, and they also change up the color of the blast effects. You also get the balaclava. Now, the red dots on the eyes aren't the greatest. I will admit that. It's more like a little dab of paint. But if you're into this, you like the story because there is a story behind it, which to me, that is what makes this Operation Monster Force just so much better than a lot of these. A lot of what the smaller companies are doing, like they're telling you what the stuff is doing, like where it fits into the lore. And you don't need to have the lore, to enjoy the toys, but it is pretty nice what they're doing. Matthew says, I love werewolves, but I don't need a shadow warg. And again, that story kind of tells you, and I understand that, but there's a bunch of different ones. Yes, I do. I do. If Sean, there's probably someone watching right now that went, wait, fuck, really? Do you do reviews? Yes, I do toy reviews. There are people that probably don't realize it. But yeah. So here you go. Now I don't know about the beret. I don't think you need a translucent beret, but it's there if you want it. And you get the shotgun. Now the thing I do like is the blast effects on these shadow figures is like this dark red, which I think it really pops off of the weapon and the translucentness. So, but and yeah, since I believe B wasn't here, Bobby, if you're here, did your Shadow Warg have two right holsters for the gun? Because mine has two right holsters and there's already a holster on it. So technically I have three right holsters for this figure. But yeah. And Sean says, damn, I didn't need the Shadow Warg, but I think I want it after these picks. Dude, again, I really do like it. Hi, it's me. Says Punk only posts reviews on days ending in Y. Those are facts. All right. NECA. And I don't have much NECA, but we do have the Ben Cooper. And these are the ones that we have been waiting for, as most of us are. Again, this is a big, heavy G.I. Joe channel. But they have the Transformers in mass. Clearly, this property was sold together. Okay, B's Battleground quickly says, I had a right with the flashlight and then a left and right. Like how, yeah. So they screwed up. They gave me two right ones. And then obviously the one that had it on it, that's the one that has the flashlight on it. Kind of sucks. Maybe I'll reach out to him and be like, hey, do you have one of these that you can send me? Because I only have two right ones. Kind of sucks. Actually, I probably will. It's fairly easy to talk to him. Sean says, I was trying to skip the translucent figures, just save Eraser, but this is tempting. They're really good, dude. All right. So here are the 5 figures. Now, my issue right now is that these are only being sold as a pack. And I believe on BBTS, they're like $120 or $125 for all 5. For all 5, but you have to put like $12 down and like unrefundable But on Entertainment Earth, they're $100 for all 5. You don't have to put anything down, and you get free shipping. I should probably put a post out with the Entertainment Earth link, because I think people would probably be willing to buy this $20 each. I just don't need all of them. But here we'll take a look at Mask. Do you think that they did Matt Tracker as a black kid because that is now the color of Matt? Is it Matt Tracker's son? I don't follow it. I just know that Matt Tracker is now black. So I wonder if they did this on purpose. But these suits, I mean, again, these things were awful to wear. The masks were awful to wear, but we all wore them. We all wore them. They nail it. Again, I don't know why they can't go pinless yet, but hey, it is what it is. Then I had the Ben Cooper, He-Man, 3CPO, and Doctor Doom. Matthew still wears them. I love the candy bags. They look exactly, they're soft goods. They look exactly like a pillowcase and a Mask pillowcase. So here we get the Mask one. And then we get Optimus and Megatron walking together. I can say I remember seeing 1 or 2 people dressed like this. We have the pillowcase full of or the actual soft goods pillowcase, which is probably going to make this all worth it. We got Megatron there, and I had this Megatron. I know a lot of people probably had this Megatron as a kid, and Megatron was an atrocity as an actual toy. If he wasn't the gun version, he didn't stand well. He had a big giant cock that was just sitting right there. Everyone loved his arm cannon, but for the most part, he was not. It was just not a good figure. All right. But and the mask doesn't look anything like Megatron. Like if I didn't know that this was Megatron, I'd be like, what the fuck is that? Because it sure the hell doesn't look like Megatron. Allison says, I have the Ben Cooper Kids DC Wave and can't bring myself to open them. They look really cool in the package. I agree, but I think they did a really good job. And this is such a niche that they hit. It's so smart because so many people remember dressing up as these one way or another, right? 3-star says, I need all of these. Just don't know if I need them all at one time. These things always go on clearance at Walmart. And so that's what I said. Entertainment Earth, they're like $20 each. Because I think it was $100 for all 5. Which isn't a bad price, but I don't really need them all. So Optimus Prime here, I can actually see this is Optimus, right? I had Optimus as a kid. Seriously, one of the best toys. And I got my son Andrew. I got him Transformers when he was younger. They were the most frustrating things to transform. Optimus Prime looks like a Peterbilt, the original, and when he transforms, he fucking looks like a robot, as he should. I don't know why they had to complicate things so much. Sean Forrester says Halloween is always cold here, cold where I live. Mom would always try and force us to wear winter jackets under our costumes. Crazy. We always had to wear them on top. I'm in Michigan. You're in Iowa. So I don't think the weather is too much different. But yes. But good Lord, if you did not have a long sleeve shirt underneath this is so cold when the wind hits that costume. It is so cold. We got Tripwire jumping to say my mom didn't love me. Got the Cubert one. I'm sorry. No, the original Megatron sucked in robot mode. He was awesome. Awful. But I wish I still had that because that thing is worth so much fucking money. Ed says, well, the chest of the costume tells you exactly who it is, so you never have to guess. Yes, I know that. Okay, so are these classified scale? They are a little, again, these are based on a 7-inch figure. So they're kids based on a 7-inch figure. So basically, they're just a little bit tall kids. But if you take like, Roman, are you all right? Did you guys hear that? Roman. Dude, I'm like seriously gonna go check on my dog and make sure he's all right because he's just laying there. So give me a second here. Like fucking freak me out. All right. He's good. Yeah. I don't know. He's not a bobcat. Nah. I did. He's literally right here. I've never heard him make that noise. He's literally just laying down, and I've never heard that noise. But he seems fine, other than he's like kind of passed out. It sounded like a lot of things. I wasn't sure that it was him. I thought like maybe there's a tornado siren or something. But yeah, that was fucking weird, guys. And yeah, so thank you guys all for. He's literally right there. It wasn't like he was downstairs. I've never heard him. No, I don't think he was dreaming. I know his dreams. He does these little yips. He does these little yips. Just kind of weird. I don't know. That just kind of worried me there. I don't think he was. I don't know. He's fine. He's fine. But that was really, really fucking. It wasn't a wolf. That's what I'm like. He didn't wolf. Like, just really weird. All right. Okay. So anyway, Optimus Prime. Back to this. We got the little Converse. But there you go. All right. Here are the ones that we have been waiting for. The G.I. Joe ones. So we will start off with Sergeant Slaughter. I don't remember this one. All right. Does anyone else remember? I honestly do not remember that one. Matthew, it might have been a Sleep Howl. I've just never heard him make that noise before. And it went on for quite some time, as you guys heard. So, but he's good. So, right, buddy? He's like, I'm not lifting my head. Fuck you guys. I don't remember this one. It has the USA. Now, I haven't been around. I have people said like, dude, NECA can do a Kids USA, but Classified can't even give me USA on the Sergeant Slaughter that I want with the Triple T. I wonder if that's gone on yet. Matter of fact, I maybe have to do a little bit of photoshopping so I can say, dude, look what this is coming with, guys. Okay, so 3-star says, I remember seeing the Sarge one in stores, never had it, just had the grunt. Yeah, this looks awful. But it is G.I. Joe. This is, again, remember, this is a guy that turned his back on Hulk Hogan and the USA. But you get the G.I. Joe pillowcase. We get Sarge, like he's even like the camouflage is awful. think Johnny just sent me it on eBay. Let me see here. Oh, it's real. I kind of remember that. All right. And then there was this one. Now, I purposely kept this one for the last one because I was this guy 2 years in a row. And then the third year, I was I was GI Joe, but I had regular GI Joe or regular military stuff. This is one I have to have because it's the one costume I specifically remember having and being. Um, that opening in the mouth, again, I think we all stuck our tongues through it and eventually would cut our tongues, kind of like eating pizza that was too hot. Uh, we have Grunt running. Does anyone ever know why was Grunt holding the stock of the M16? I still, even as a kid, I didn't understand it, but there's also the one army man that is crawling like that too. Um, but this is one that I had, and I can specifically remember it. I don't have the pillowcase. These ones I have to get this one. And I like all of them. I just don't think I need all of them. Actually, I know that I don't need all of them because, well, I just don't. But if they sell them individually, just like what Darren was saying, yeah, I'm all for this. But I don't understand. I didn't. None of the other ones I don't think have sold in packs. But for some odd reason, is this a Hasbro thing that Hasbro's like, yeah, well, we want them all sold together. Maybe that's just a pre-order. I'll ask, I'm going to ask John at Sergeant Reds. Maybe he knows exactly on what it is. And Woody says I'm passing on the Sarge one, but they're being sold as a pack. That's what I don't understand. So, and they're broken up. If you look at how they are, the mask one has an extra picture because they don't have a picture of the two people side by side. So either way, this is what we've been waiting for. And a lot of us said, hey, if they ever do these, I'm definitely going to get these Ben Coopers. I know I want to get it. Eventually, I'll get this. Eventually, some way it'll show up. So, all right. On to G.I. Joe. And then we'll get to the topic. So, there really wasn't much new G.I. Joe news, but they did drop a few new file cards. I really do like what they're doing, giving us file cards, telling the story. So people with less of imagination, they don't have to figure it out. No. And I actually at first I was like, I didn't like the fact that they weren't doing the file cards like the Real American Hero. And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, they've changed the file card with different iterations, but this is supposed to be classified. So I really don't have a problem. It's actually pretty cool. But the fact that they're finally doing this, and I really do hope that they go back and they do every single one of them. You've numbered our fucking boxes. I was going to buy them all anyway, but you've numbered the fucking boxes. Go back and make sure you do every single one of them. Even the original ones, the Duke, Snake Eyes, explain the guns. It doesn't really matter, right? But every one of them should have a file card. So, Darren says they knew if they didn't sell them as a pack, they were leaving money on the table. Possibly. I mean, possibly. But, Super 7 thought that too by trying to sell all the glow-in-the-dark Joe Fest exclusives in a pack. And I believe it was 610 Yo-Joe Daddy that pretty much said, fuck you. I only want Snake Eyes, and walked away and didn't buy any of them. So, yeah. So here's Anya. Again, you guys can go back and look, read this. Here we have the Mole Rat. So this is obviously the version 2 or stage 2. I would assume that this would be the exact same file card as the first one. It's obviously all different characters. We know that there's going to be a Mole Rat version 2 or stage 3. I mean, but I like the fact that they are giving us file cards. Here we have the Cobra La Royal Guard. This seems kind of funny because of all the characters that we actually need file cards for. You don't think of Cobra La as much, but it does talk about what they are. You know, this is bred and surgically enhanced for size. You know, it breaks them down and allows you to just kind of play around and, you know, create your own lore. You got Zartan, and I believe that's all of them. All right, so the Fatal Fluffy Forest pack. I did get this. I dropped a review on it. Go check it out after this. As I said earlier on when I talked about this, I give Super 7 a lot of shit, and for a good reason in my opinion. Not everyone agrees, but in my opinion, they deserve a lot of the BS that I give them because I try and be honest. When a company does something right, even if I don't care for the company, I am going to give them their credit. I don't think the price point of $25 for an O-ring is a problem. I think for what they give you comparing to a smaller company, that is what bothers the shit out of me. When I look at someone like Delta 17, Operation Recall, they're charging almost the exact same, but they have swivel wrist. They give you more accessories. The paint looks better. Now, yes, there's a licensing fee, but we can still have more stuff. You can still have better paint apps. You're still going to make a profit because you are going to sell more units than Delta 17 or Operation Recall are. For a $25 price point, they were doing a 3-pack and a new head sculpt. At least one thing was going to be redone, and that is one head sculpt. I said there's no way this is less than $75, and I thought it'd be about $90. It came in at $50 at a BBTS exclusive, Big Bad Toy Store, and I think they nailed it. I think they did a really good job with these. Now, I think they all should have come with guns. They all should have come with whips. They all didn't need to have this face sculpt. I think they should have painted the eyes different on one of these figures, just so there's a little bit of a difference. You wouldn't have to change the mold or anything. These are identical to the one that is on card. When you're looking to see if the color is different, you'll try and make it up in your mind. The color wasn't different. It is the exact same. Now, I did have somebody today say these ones are actually better than classified because they're more cartoon-like. Yes, they are more cartoon-like. These are not better than the classified one. I know because I have them both. And just in general, if you're in 1/18 scale collector, if you're an O-ring collector, of course you're going to like these better. And it's okay to like something better. But it's like the person who said Super 7 Ultimates have better articulation than classified. You can like them more, but that is a bold-faced lie. And these are actually fun to put up against classified figures. It's one of the few things that I think is actually fun to mix and match. But for $50, I was impressed. Now, I also thought that maybe there was a chance that one was going to be shorter than the other because this one looks like the one breathing fire is smaller. It is not. No, these are about 4.5 inches tall. Yes, these are based on the 1/18 scale. So yeah, high as me, 3.75 scale, but they're not 3.75. They are taller than that because they're supposed to be bigger. Gun Bunny says, I love to see classified 3-pack of Fatal Fluffies like they did the Vipers. Yeah, that'd be like $250 fucking dollars because Hasbro doesn't know how to. Oh, they were 55, so they'd be maybe about 170 is what they probably charge. But they could give you an extra face sculpt. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I don't really want to spend that much on it, but I did buy 2 Fatal Fluffies, so who the fuck am I kidding, right? So as you can see here, the Fatal Fluffy that breathes fire, it looks like he's yelling if he doesn't have the fire piece in. They did a really good job of hiding it. So when the fire effect isn't in it, you don't notice it. It's just kind of left like he is yelling, which is perfectly fine. It's okay to have one yelling from time to time, unlike Crazy Legs, who is always yelling no matter what. He's just an angry Halo jumper. But again, a company does something right. I'm going to give them credit. Do I think they all should have had a gun and a whip? Yes. But they also came in at least $25 cheaper than I thought they were going to. And here's the back of them. So, nice little box, which I actually have right here. And it is a cheap box. And I actually talked about it in my review. And I'll talk about it in a second. But here is the file card, which is actually kind of funny. But it just, the file, they do a file card for this, but it actually makes sense. But there you go. That is all the news that I have. So this is the box. And if you are an inbox collector, which I don't understand, you can buy a box off somebody. Save yourself some money. It is a very flimsy box. So no matter how BBTS tries to pack it, like this box is perfectly fine. The box that it came in, but this is kind of bent in. Because any packing that you use is going to squeeze against it. This is one of the flimsy boxes. Kind of what they used in the original line, but in this day and age, you assume that they could they could use better stock to create the box, but no, well, doesn't matter. It came here. I'll keep the box because I have fucking issues. But hey, that is. And the file card looks good. Like again, I'll give Super 7 credit. They're file cards. They're on packaging. It looks right for the most part. They're cross-sell. They do it the right way. It's the actual figures that I have more of an issue with. So, all right, I'm going to take a quick breather. I'm going to let you guys pay attention to something that you should be watching tomorrow. And here we go.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news discussions and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.
All right. So, on to the topic. And listen, it is slow right now. There isn't much happening. So, I said, hey, you know what? Let's be a little interactive. Let's see what we can do. And I asked you guys to send in how you display your stickers. We are giving stickers away at Joe Fest. Some they required. I think Spec gave some away. at San Diego Comic-Con. You guys have reached out. You've asked us. Well, technically, you reach out. You ask Tony. Tony messages us. Says, hey, I need you guys to send me pictures or send stickers. We send the stickers. We make sure Tony isn't stealing them and selling them on eBay. It's a big thing. When you're a junior lawyer, we have to check all this stuff because we got to make sure that you're not stealing supplies from people. But I ask people, hey, you know what? Send me how you display your stickers. I think I got 11 people that sent them to me. It's fun. We'll be able to look at the stickers, see if there's anything that we notice. And I said, hey, they didn't need to be just toy tuber stickers. They could have been skateboarding stickers, how you display them, band stickers, anything that you collect and how you do it. Maybe some people just keep them. I have a whole shitload in a box. But as you guys know, you've seen the sticker board, and you know that it's how I display them. So I just want to say everyone, and I lost my train of thought. So I want to start off with this one, and there is a story to this. This is Lightfoot, and I ran into Lightfoot. He introduced himself, and his daughter was there, and she was super excited to get the Roman Joe Fest. And he messaged me. He said she was so excited to put her Punk with Toys sticker. This is the only picture. This is the only picture that he sent me, right? And I was going to do this one last one because to me, this is the most special one. That is the one sticker of any toy tubers. She was super excited to get this, but again, I know she's young, and I don't want her. If she's watching, I don't want her to have to stay up too late. So he sends this to me, and he just wrote us a nice little message and said, "Hey, remember you said, hey, send that you can send other stickers." And I'm like, I will definitely send her some stickers. I will get to it this week. I know he mentioned she wants to have it. She wants to have it before school starts. So I'm going to get them out to you this week. I do still have, again, I'll send you, because you were there, the Joe Fest. But I also have this sticker without the Joe Fest. I have a few left. I'm going to have to order some more. But I will send some out. I'm not going to send out the Circle of Jerks because doesn't need. I'll send you some. I don't think that she needs a Circle of Jerks sticker on anything that she does. But I love seeing the Punk with Toys. I love seeing when Roman's on it. So yeah. Not here. So I don't know if school starts tomorrow, she's not going to get them in time. School doesn't start until the end of the month here, so they do have some time. Beardy McPherson says, "Sorry, I couldn't get my stickers collection images. I couldn't get to Tony's house to take a pic." So, Lightfoot, tell your daughter if she's not watching. I appreciate her repping a Punk with Toys. She'll be repping Roman soon. I appreciate it. She was absolutely a joy to meet, and honestly, I hope you guys make it there again, and we can spend a little bit more time chatting. And I'll have a different sticker next year, definitely. So just know that she is definitely on the list to, get another sticker though. All right. Next up, I can't see who it is. 3-star. The reason why I said I can't see who it is, it's because where I put the name is where it tells me how long I've been live and how many people are watching. So I gotta look over here at my other screen. 3-star sent me, I think, a couple pics. We got the Top Fun Toys. We have Delta 17, Hexastack, There we have the Punk with Toys, Tony's Figs. He's probably the only person watching that has a modern skate and surf. There's another one, but I have no idea. Some French company. But we have the Triple D. We have Wraith Mace. That is not a sticker. That is an actual patch that Velcros on it. We have Roman, Joe Fan, Jetman. You know, we got the Smoking Joes, which I got late. Did anyone else notice that Smoking Joe's totally fucking copied off G.I. Jetman? Dude, seriously. Shane, you copied G.I. Jetman's logo. Seriously, you sent it to me, and I was like, I already have. Wait, this isn't Jetman's. It threw me for a second. But yeah. So we can see how, you know, Darren, he's sporting these here. Yeah, one sticker is for me. We can see it. It's right. It says Joe Fan 84. Okay, so quickly, Lightfoot says she went to bed at the top of the show. I'll show her this part tomorrow, though. She did say to tell you hi. No, she definitely does not need to put the Circle of Jerk stickers on anything. At Assembly Required, there was a kid that came up to me, and he actually he knew who I was, and I was like, I'm like, how do you know? Because I had Circle of Jerk stickers. And he's like, oh, I see you. And he was a younger kid. He was with his dad. And he's like, oh, I see your reviews. And I was like, whew, all right. All right. I'm glad it's not from Circle of Jerks, because you see two different sides of me. And not everyone needs to get a cookie. We'll just leave it at that. Not everyone needs a cookie. Hey, look, there's the cookie right there. And you must be really, like, this picture, Darren, you must have really zoomed in, because I don't believe that we've made any Circle of Jerk stickers that look like they're about 10 inches. Like, that thing looks fucking huge. But here's his board. Taking a look at it. Here's one. He's got his Yeti, Airtight, another Punk with Toys, Big Bad Toy Store, Astro Thomas. He's got Frostbite. I don't. Oh, he has Bucky's there. I don't see anything else. But you know, again, this is what looks to be like his laptop. So, mostly some pretty cool stickers. That's most of them, not all of them. And then here it is in the background of all of his stuff. So Darren really wanted to show off as many stickers as he could. I do like the file cards, and I like the cross sell. Most people have seen my basement, and they know that I have some of the stuff like printed up. So I really do like seeing this stuff. Lightfoot says we don't need a parent-teacher conference over a water bottle. But okay, but now I kind of want the Circle of Jerks on there, and then I want you to record the parent-teacher conference over the water bottle stickers. That might be on it. MC Armaza says, if you had a sticker of someone that you no longer like, would you remove it? I'd probably just put a sticker over it. I mean, I have more than enough stickers. I'd probably just slap a sticker over it, because have you ever tried to remove a sticker? You ever try to remove a sticker? It's a pain in the ass. All right. So Classified Ronnie, he sends me a message and he said, he goes, I just sent you an email. You inspired me to get this done. And as you can see, he's got Bees Battlegrounds. He got the Roman, Punk with Toys, Jetman, Joe Fan. Look, Joe Fan, he has one of yours. Baldy Locks, Bucky's. He actually went to Bucky's. I didn't go to Bucky's. I also like the fact that he pinned them all. He pinned them all because he's like, damn it. Now, I also saw he has a stew for lunch. I don't have a stew for lunch. Why don't I have a fucking stew for lunch? It kind of upset me. It hurt me. GI Customs, I can kind of understand as we're across the pond. But that also meant that Bees Battleground must have sent him over there too. But he went with the pinning stuff. Now, I am not one to say much because there are certain things that I know that they have no monetary value, but I can't get myself to peel a sticker and place it somewhere. Because I'm always worried. I don't want to put them on a laptop because I'm like, what if the laptop dies? Well, I can't get another fucking sticker. Like it's not that fucking possible. But yeah, so Hi, it's me says stickers decide when they come off, not us. That is very, very, very true. It's very true. So I basically inspired Ronnie to set something up. So he has something to do. So Ronnie has been he's had a lot of extra time on, not a lot of extra free time recently. So, and then we go into NorCal Voodoo. Now, the way you can tell this is NorCal Voodoo is because he printed up a big giant picture of his logo, which I absolutely love, to be honest. I think that is really cool. The toy box comes to life. But I was like, man, I gotta write this shit down so I remember who's who. I'm like, oh, I'll remember this one because it's right dead set in the middle. With that said, I do shit like that too. So, but he's got the Smoking Joes. He did bring up to me, and he actually sent me his information. He doesn't have my sticker, but he's got Lady Spartan Customs, the Smoking Joes, a couple Smoking Joes. Shane is just like all about like, dude, I'm gonna send you the Smoking Joes before GI Jetman gets you to, and you'll think that he copied his logo off of me, but really I copied my logo off of him. Shane's like that. Anyway, 3-star says, I have sadly lost valuable stickers when a laptop died. And that's why, like, I'm telling you, like, I have this fucking weird, like, it's like, I know the laptop will eventually get thrown away or disposed of. And I like that Woody's laughing over the Smoking Joes. So yeah, I have this issue with it. So anyway, this is NorCal Voodoo, what he does here, how he has his stuff set up. I got to get him some stickers out. So, okay, here comes Junior Lawyer. And, you know, he obviously is picking stuff up from Joe Fest. So we have the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, LaCroix Toys. He has Baldy Fox Reviews, Joe Hunter, who is not Joe Fan 84. He's got, I don't even have, I have Gun Bunny Customs, but I don't think I put Gun Bunny Customs on anything yet. I don't have that fucking Skeletron one. I think I have a boatload of Kooks ones. I don't have a Figure It Out one. I know that one. But yeah. And I think I got US Combat Dojo. I still haven't pulled all the figures or all the stickers out there. I still haven't pulled all the stickers out from Joe Fest. Like, I was separating shit yesterday. Like, Olivia, you got to put this stuff away because there's stuff that has not been put away since we got back from Florida. Matthew says, I just can't put stickers on anything. Matthew, that's why I put them on skateboards. Now, I don't expect you to have skateboards, but I'm like, I have so many of these fucking skateboards and I can just add stickers and I can do another sticker board. But I'm like you. Like I can't just slap stuff there. It drives me nuts. What if I move? I've lived in the same fucking place for almost 20 years. I don't actually it's been 20 years now. No, almost 20 years. Um I ain't fucking moving right now. But I'm with you. Like I don't I don't just I can't just slap the stickers wherever I want. So I'm definitely with you. I think I got a Ray Murphy one at Joe Fest. I really haven't had a chance to go through them. I know I got Rex ships. Uh, yeah. So now because he is he is a junior lawyer, but he is still part of the family. Again, we have to have a talk with him about him not showing up to work, and I don't know. We got to have a talk with Tony and how he's treating the circle of jerks. It is disappointing in some ways that he needs to know where his priorities should be. But he did send this to me, so I'm going to share the screen quickly. And the reason why I told him earlier that I'm not doing it because I knew you guys would all be like, "Oh, I can send it in now." No, and well, shit, if I would have seen a toy kind of mood, I definitely would not have fucking shown it. But the EMS showing up is half the battle. I think is absolutely awesome. He has his paramedic one right there. His International Association Firefighters. So he sent it to me. He said, "Hey, I just sent you one." I'm like, "Dude, I don't have fucking, I don't have time to. I'm not baldy." But when I looked and saw what it was, I was like, I really have to show this because the EMS one I really liked. And again, if you don't know, Tony is a paramedic. That is one of the reasons why he's not always on the circle of jerks. He's actually out there saving lives. So I just wanted to show this off, even though he was having a hard time following directions and yeah, and getting to me in a timely manner. But hey, that's what we expect from Tony. That's the problem. That's why we have a little meeting with him if he wants to be more than a junior lawyer eventually. Quickly, Alex Martinez says, "I put stickers on my toolbox." No, that's why I said send me the pictures. That was the whole idea. But yeah. He says the skeleton. Do you mean the Skeletron? Because I don't know. I want the Skeletron. I ain't gonna lie. All right, Evil Dookie. This has got to be a big. This has got to be a big toolbox because I think it's a toolbox. Oh no, it's a safe. I didn't even know it's a safe because I know how big the Punk with Toy sticker is, and it makes it look really tiny. But he is like you can tell he has all kinds of stuff, not just the toy tuber world. From Gridiron to Joe Fan, GI Jetman, not Smoking Joe's. You can see that right there. He has the magnets. Ed, I fucking hate you. All right. Fuck you, Ed. But I so want. But now you make me want to. But the problem is there would be no one, Ed. And now I'm having a conversation with Ed. You guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But you can see that he has been adding different types of stickers. And this is what the other thing that I wanted to talk about. Like some of us, our own hobby may be toys. But many other ones of us, we do different things. Now, I don't know what Dixon is. Lots of Dixon stuff. That almost looks like this red one here. I am circling like you can fucking see me. Is a machine gun. So I don't know if that has something to do with Dixon up here has a machine gun. So a lot of different stuff. On the side of it are magnets. Now, if you don't know, I believe this guy is here at Joe Fist every single year. He has all these really awesome cut magnets, and from Transformers to superheroes to obviously GI Joe figures. Super cool. But I believe Evil Dookie's actually been to a few other shows. I think in his area. I could be wrong. But I know not all of these are definitely from Joe Fest, but you can see how he has them. And again, if we all wanted to, we could all fill up something this size with Big Bad Toy stickers. Joe Fan needs more stickers, as he has a very high wall that he needs to add to this. So he's got the Same Time toys. We have, you know, Classified Ronnie, GI Jetman, Joe Fan. We got a Punk with Toys, Daredevil, three Poa. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of them. Hell, he even has a fucking Pixel Dan. I didn't think I was gonna see Pixel Dan. I didn't have that one on the bingo card today. But he also has, and I'm pretty proud of this, a Delta 17 and Punk with Toys sticker on his car. I have mentioned before, I don't put stickers on my car. I'm so anal about that stuff. And when we left the annual meeting, I think I told this last week, we left the annual meeting, there was a car that was completely stickered up. It was an atrocity. It wasn't like this. It was an atrocity. It's not like an old car either, right? Like that, like I get. And I sent it to Olivia, and then the following week, I think it was the following week, she sends me the same fucking picture, and I'm like, are you at the library? She's like, no, we're at the movies. I just looked over, and my friend was like, dude, look at that car. And she was like, oh my God, my dad just sent me that picture of this car. I gotta take it and send it back to him. So I love seeing this. If anyone wonders, I do not have I do not have stickers on my car. Yes, this is you. But going back to this one, you need stickers. So if you have stickers, reach out to JoeFan84. Say, hey, dude, where can I send some stickers? Because this wall needs to be filled. All right. You're supposed to start with the top and work your way down. You start at the bottom. So it looks like it's water filling. It also means that my stickers are at the bottom, which hurts my feelings. I'm never at the bottom. So, all right. And then we get to this one. Plastic Fantastic. Now, if you don't know, Plastic Fantastic, what he says, Punk's head is now too big to leave that room. He's stuck in that chair. Maybe. Okay, so he says, I put it in the bottom because of my videos. That's the only part you see. All right. So okay. Then in that case, I understand. And thank you. I like that. Okay. So, Plastic Fantastic. Now, if you don't know, Plastic Fantastic, after Joe Fest 24, he hits me up and he's like, hey, can you send me some more stickers? And I gave so many stickers out. I'm like, yeah, but I thought I gave you some. He's like, yeah, I put on my car and a tree smashed the windshield or the back window. So, like, all right, no problem. So here you can see Circle the Jerks, Tony's Figs, Punk with Toys, Toy Optics, Baldy Locks review. Now, I know what you're saying. Wait, where is Terry's? Where's Action Media Toys? It was there. It left. It was there. It just left. I had to figure out a way to explain that one. I don't know why Action Media. I'm assuming he didn't send it to him, or maybe he doesn't like Terry. I don't know. I know that the four of us, even Junior Lawyer, he needs a Junior Lawyer sticker for next Joe Fest. I don't know if he thinks it's as funny as I think it is, but I make myself laugh. So be careful, because if you put a Punk with Toys sticker on your car, there are chances that a tree will fall on it and smash it. Yes, Cookster says that's a literal circle of jerks. And I feel like he left the space there for action media. So yes, it totally left. Yes, it left the car early. Terry sticker is temporarily stick. All right, and then making my head even bigger is Woody 222. Now, yes, he has Action Figure Alliance. You can see he has Yo Joe Jerk, Joe Fest. I'm not sure who's on the other side here, but you see who's at the top, right? I mean, it's me. It's me. And I appreciate that. And I do believe I've actually seen, I believe he sent this to me before. So I already knew that it was there. But then here we go. He has a circle of jerks over here. We see a Baldy Locks. I don't know what Shelf Gravy is, but that one's actually pretty cool. Yo Joe Jerk, obviously, he's trying to dominate. He's trying to dominate Woody's space, giving him 2 stickers. Joe ARH. I think Joe sent me some, but I don't know. I gotta look that up. I gotta see if Joe sent me some. But this is Woody's little corner, as you can tell. Got your Delta 17 there. So I feel like Woody needs more. Like you have all those figures. There's got to be a spot where you have more fucking stickers than this, right? He should have Baldy licking something. So there you go. That is Woody 222. Action figures sold separately. Now, this guy is doing all kinds of work. He's building stuff, and he sent me like 4 different panels of pictures, and you can just kind of see all different stuff. We got the Killer Clowns MTV, which no longer exists. And what is Anthrax? Because it's not Anthrax, but it's made like Anthrax. You got the Masters of the Universe. You got the Turtles, and to me, I look at this like this is totally inspiration for him as he's sitting here creating, building these dioramas. And if you're not buying anything from Action Figures sold separately, you need to. I'm actually going to probably do a review on some of the stuff he does. Like, here are the VHS tapes. I have the records downstairs. Obviously, I've done other stuff with his foam that he's made. But this is like one of the shots that he has. This one here, we can see this is a newer one, as it has the Joe Fest 2026. We see the misfits that are there. G.I. Jetman, not Smoking Joes. He has his skateboards up top there. Homer Simpson. Those aren't stickers, but it looks like he needs another Punk with Toys. That one is starting to get covered up. So Definitely have to get him some more stickers. That's for sure. But what I like about his is like this is something that is in his workshop where he's looking at it, and to me, I feel like this is something where you probably get inspiration. You know, he does so many. There's so many things like in the back here. You know, one of the reasons why, like, that really caught me on the stuff was he has all these flyers like iced teas on here, a body count. Um, I believe there's minor threat. I think there's maybe 7 seconds, something like that. And when he made some specific things for me, he's like, "What's your favorite band?" Sick of it. Dude, it didn't even dawn on me, man, that I have that the singer of Sick of It All just passed away. He did a whole fucking panel of Sick of It All fucking flyers. I didn't even realize that, dude. I'm looking back here. So I look at this, and to me, this seems like this is where he takes like a little bit of inspiration. And we can see the circle of jerks. Roman, look at that, the punk with toys. My head's getting fucking huge right now. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's getting big. So, really cool to see his workspace. I'm gonna give him a whole bunch of stickers next year, and he's gonna have a wall of punk with toys. Uh, so, and then we have I can't see it. This is SCS dog, and I don't understand why there's snake eyes there, and then it's a dead shot. I understand Snake Eyes, and he's in front of my favorite comic cover, or one of my favorite comic covers. I absolutely love this. I like this one, and I love the one with Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. Storm Shadows and Snake Eyes looking out at Stalker, Snow Job, and Quick Kick, where they're about to save them. But look at this. He has Circle of Jerks, Baldy Locks, Punk with Toys, Junior Lawyer. I mean, Tony's Figs, Daredevil Dave, Bees Battleground. He's got the little top hat, 3-star up top here. I realize 3 stars trying to be like G.I. Jetman 2, but not as much. And look, G.I. Jetman next to Smoking Joe's. Oh my God, Shane, you have fucking ripped off G.I. Jetman. That is not cool, man. But I look at this and definitely. So look at all the BBTS stickers. How many of us could fill up like a full wall on their house with BBTS stickers? I've heard people on I've seen people on Facebook groups and like, hey, what do you do? Like, not me, but like people like, hey guys, what do you do with all the BBTS stickers? And it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, you pile them up and you use them to like stop a chair from rocking. Because we have so many of them. I think I got Crow. I think I got your sticker. And this is the end. But again, I love seeing this stuff. I know other people, I've talked about this when I did it before. This type of stuff is what it creates the community. People like to show off what they have. People like that. People want to see, and I feel like the past 2 interactions that we've done, especially the Christmas one. I absolutely love that one. I feel like I got to figure out something to do again when that time comes. Actually, I just got an idea. I should probably write it down. Hold on, I'm gonna write this down because I just got an idea. It's for the Punkathon. So, because the Punkathon is right before Halloween. So I think we should have you guys send in pictures of Halloween costumes that you either did as a kid, and I guess you could do it as an adult, but as a kid, and then we can spend like an hour. Because hell, I have 36 hours that I have to. So Halloween costumes. Told you that show has constantly that punkathon has to constantly be evolving. So Halloween costumes. Hope you guys have some pictures because I definitely need that. And hey, you know what? The whole sticker idea was honestly, it was Joe Fan's. It was his idea. His idea was, hey, you know what? Why don't you ask people to send in pictures of your sticker on their cars? But I'm never gonna ask someone to put my sticker on their car. Again, I'm so dead fast against it. I'm seeing Tony is dressing as Mossman. No left-handed. But no, this was all Joe Fan. Like, well, he had the idea, and I was like, hey, you know what? Have you guys send in stickers and just see how you guys display it. Hell, maybe again, and the idea was maybe just have them in a pile and be like, dude, I have all these stickers, and maybe just spread them out and like I have all these stickers. I don't even know what to do with them. Because like what Matthew said, like I don't know where, like I don't have anywhere to put them. And again, I feel the same way. That's why like the sticker board is perfect, because if I ever move, or let's say I move the room that the stuff is in, I can take it off the wall and move it to where it needs, to where it's going to go. Why do I hate Halloween? I think Halloween is a kid's holiday or a kid's event. It's not a holiday. I don't get paid for it. It's just, I've never been a big fan of Halloween. Do I enjoy the women that decide to dress half naked and scantily clad? Yes, but nowadays I just go on Instagram and I see it anyway, so it doesn't even fucking matter, right? I've just never been a big fan of Halloween. And not that I hate it, I just think that it is specifically for kids. If you listen to Jim Rome, I would say we kind of are on the same page. Now, you get a hot girl, and she's like, I want to dress up, and I want you to dress up and go to a fucking Halloween party with me. Yeah, we fucking, no, yeah. You're absolutely correct. I don't like fun. Because fun to me is riding a skateboard. And riding a skateboard to me is more like pain these days. And Joe Fan says that's exactly why I use the board. Plus, it makes a decent background when I do a video. No, and you're absolutely right. But yeah, that's just one of those. This is one of those things. But I fully understand what Matthew is saying, because I don't want a wall full of fucking. I don't want a wall full of like stickers where once you peel the stickers off, you've completely ruined the drywall. These are the types of things that change when you become a homeowner, and you're like, I don't want to ruin a fucking wall. I'll put screws in it, because I can always patch those. It's not as easy to patch stickers if you literally tear off the fucking drywall. But that's why something that is removable works pretty well. Tripwire quickly says, so punk's the reasons I get all these girls in my IG feeds. I came across one of those IG reels where it's the guy and his girlfriend is behind him. He's like, I don't know what Instagram did to change their algorithm and automatically like all these goth girls, but I do not like it. Instagram, you are going to ruin relationships that people have that are great relationships. I don't know why Instagram shows you who you like. I have no problem liking hot girls. I've said before, and my friends know this, I will laugh at certain things that I will never, ever, ever heart or like or whatever, because people might go, yeah, dude, like really? I saw that you like this. Yep. Nope, we are not going there. But yeah. All right, so KBO says off topic about the book reservations for Joe Fest. Are people staying Sunday night or does everyone leave Sunday? About half the people leave before Sunday. We stay till Monday morning. So your best bet is to stay through Monday morning. Sunday is an absolute awesome night. I don't know if you're driving or flying. You know, if you're flying, then it doesn't really matter. You can stay up as late as you want. I drive home, but I'm still up. I mean, I don't think. Oh, actually, I think this Sunday might have been the earliest that I went back. Fuck, I don't remember. Ed, do you remember what time? What time did we go back? I think we went actually back to the hotel fairly early because I knew I had to pack everything up and I had to get to Florida. But no, if possible, the best is to stay. For some odd reason, it is that hotel is absolutely booked on Thursday, and I don't know what the fuck is going on with it. So I am booked now from Friday to Monday morning. I will be there Thursday, no matter what. If we have to stay at another hotel, I'm assuming that will get taken care of. If we have to stay at a different hotel, I have an idea of maybe getting all the people that weren't able to get that day and all staying at one hotel because the whole idea is to hang out with your friends. And if that means that 20 of us are at a different hotel, we're all still hanging out. We just aren't going to be at the main hotel to the next day. But I don't want to stay there. I want to stay at the Marriott, but for some odd reason it's booked, and I don't understand why. 3-star says, has Ed said when the hotel block rooms go up? I believe they already did. That's what I don't get. I believe they already did because Lady Spartan she reached out to me and she's like, hey, Thursday is completely booked. So I don't know. Yeah, so you guys are supposed to load in on Thursday this time. So I don't know if that fucking changed everything, but so the Marriott, like if you were to look at the Marriott right now, you can't book, I think, past like August 10th of 2027, right? So a year out. But that Thursday is the only day in 2027 that is bookable. It's blocked out. So it's fucked up because I'm not going through their booking. I go through AAA, but that is so if you can just get get Friday, and if you can stay at the Marriott, it is much better. I'm just telling you right now. But yeah, but again, I'm not going through. I'm trying to get a suite. If there's that many vendors, that would mean that there would be no spots available, right? There'd be no rooms available. Okay, it's cool. Thanks for the response. I'm driving. Oh, if you're driving, fuck, dude. Like, yeah, then you can stay up till fucking 4:00 in the morning because checkout isn't until like 11 or 12. So shit, dude. Like, yeah, you've already taken Monday off, I'm assuming. So yeah, you have a fucking 3-hour drive, man. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, but stay because I would say I don't know, Darren could speak on this. Same with Dave here. Probably half the people leave, but there is a huge turnout. It might not even be half the people. It might be like a lot of the people that don't hang out, but there's a huge crowd of people upstairs and downstairs. So yeah, stay till Monday. You won't regret it. That's what I'll say. You'll have fun for sure. And Billy Boy Story says, I need to go wake up my wife for work. Great show, Punk. Thank you. And have And thank you for the laughs, chat. Have a great night. You too, Billy Boy. All right. I will see you Monday or no, Thursday. I'll be on tomorrow. Darren says, I haven't seen an announcement that the convention prices block of rooms has gone up yet. That's what I was wondering. I thought that they did. But again, I wasn't paying attention to that. I thought that they went up already. From my understanding is Shark and Classified Ronnie have already booked it. So I don't know. All I know is that Thursday is completely blocked out. And I talked to Ed and I said, hey, listen, if for some odd reason that day doesn't open, which means it won't open for anyone, and all we can do is book Friday to Monday. What I want to do, and I'm hoping it doesn't come down to this, is book another hotel, not in fucking downtown Augusta. Fuck that. But probably by Top Dog. So, if 20 or 30 of us fucking book rooms, right? We're all still hanging out. Like, that's the whole purpose, right? And then we could wake up, hit Top Dog, then head down and unpack our shit. But I don't want to stay the night somewhere else and then drive over there. But I'm already starting to think and trying to make sure that we don't get fucked over. When I booked Assembly Required, I said to Ed, I go, if we don't stay at the Hilton, which is where the block of rooms are, because I did miss the block of rooms. If we stay elsewhere because of the Skywalk, Des Moines, Iowa, they have one of the coolest things, and this is Skywalk. So, and this is where all the cold weather fucking cities, why they all don't do this. It is like a 3 or 4 mile downtown where there's a Skywalk. So you're never walking in the cold. So you can walk from hotel to hotel to hotel. To different bars. Now, yeah, some of the restaurants, you'd have to go out, but you wouldn't have to walk block upon block. You would walk through the Skywalk, which is a long walk. But I think someone told me that they are staying. Sherlock said they're not staying there. I think they're staying at the Marriott. He said it's like a 10-minute walk from there. So technically not much further than where we are in the suites at Joe Fest. So, and 610 says Joe Fest sucks so bad. I'm going back Thursday through Monday next year. Exactly. 3-star says, I mean, you can book rooms, just don't know if they can. No, you cannot book Thursday. That's what I'm saying. But you cannot book Thursday no matter what. You can book it. You can book to guarantee you a room. It just won't. No, you cannot book Thursday. It is the only date that is blacked out in all of 2027 that they are selling so far. So, and I don't know why. My guess is maybe there's 2 overlapping things that people are leaving. Maybe they thought they were going to be able to stay. I don't know, but they're supposed to be moving in. Their setup is supposed to be now on Thursday for the 10-year anniversary. He wants to do all kinds of things, so things are going to be happening on Thursday. So I booked the room, and then I just keep checking, and as soon as one's available, I'm going to contact them and be like, hey, can you add this to it? But I'm going to get out of here. I gave you 3 hours, if you can believe that. I appreciate all of you guys sticking around. I hope you guys enjoyed the topic. I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. I'm hoping none of you have gotten too tired of seeing me every Monday night. I know there's a lot of shows going on right now, and a lot of people fighting for time and space, and there's only so much toy news to talk about. So when you're hearing one voice, it might get a little mundane, but I know I see the same people here every single week, and I appreciate it more than you guys know. But I am going to get out of here. I will see you guys all tomorrow, 6:30-ish, over at Baldy Locks. You might as well say 6:45 because the guy never gets there at 6:30. Like, he literally doesn't even get backstage before that. But we will be on For Sure tomorrow talking about I think properties we want classified up. Take care.